absorb them permanently, and the intention was to pay them a salary after their training. The budget remains the way we budgeted for. So even if they absorb them in the new role, it will not need additional budget because the cap of their salaries has been long determined and approved with Treasury.
Gauteng's Chief of Traffic Police, Clement Manyathela, says the training takes a year, with the candidates expected to show proficiency in the National Road Traffic Act, law enforcement ethics, and ARTO, among others.
Some will be in regional offices, some will be in specialized units doing specialized law enforcement, including the air wing. So we'll have sufficient space, including assisting the ill-equipped municipalities and local authorities, including other organs of state that might need our assistance.
Details of the well-orchestrated murder of Vereeniging engineer Armand Swart have been placed on record before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Yesterday, Witness B, the investigating officer in the Swart murder case, testified partially in camera before the commission. Due to threats against the investigating team, Witness B's voice was broadcast live with her face not revealed to conceal her identity. She detailed how those arrested in connection with Swart's murder had been monitoring the father of two's movements 5 days before he was killed. Swart was shot in a case of mistaken identity 23 times outside his company premises in Vereeniging in April last year. This after his company Qtech blew the whistle massive price inflation related to a Transnet freight rail contract.
Those kind of murder, it was not just a hit and run one, it was well prepared.
Witness B, who will resume her testimony before the commission this morning, explains how the accused stalked Swart for days.
From the 12th, there was a scouting. The 13th, there was a scouting. The 14th, there was a scouting. The 15th, there was a scouting. The 16th, there was a scouting. Subsequently, Armand was killed on the 17th.
As today marks 10 years since students from around the country staged a demonstration at the union buildings over free education, some who were there say the dream is yet to be realized. In October 2015, student protests erupted over university tuition fees. Students demanded that President Jacob Zuma declare free education. On this very day, a decade ago, Zuma announced a 0% increase in tuition for the following year and promised that in 2017, an announcement would be made for free education for poor students. But Amla Monacheng, who was a student leader at the University of Pretoria, says that has still not been achieved.
The institutions continue to increase the fees. There's a cap of NSFAS to fund the students, and not many students are funded, So we're still far from receiving free education.
Simon Machete, who was also part of the Fees Must Fall movement, says the problem from a decade ago still persists for students.
Many students that we used to classify as the missing middle are still missing middle. They are too rich to qualify for this NEFSIS. They are too poor to be able to afford these institutions of higher learning. We didn't achieve anything.
And U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has warned Israel against annexing the West Bank, saying steps taken by Parliament and settler violence threaten a Gaza peace deal. Israeli lawmakers voted yesterday to advance two bills of annexing the occupied West Bank barely a week after President Donald Trump pushed through a deal aimed at ending a 2-year Israeli offensive in the Gaza Strip that was a retaliation for a Hamas attack. The United States is the primary military and diplomatic supporter of Israel, and Rubio until recently has steered clear of criticizing annexation moves championed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's far-right allies. Rubio was asked about increased violence by extremist Israeli settlers against Palestinians in the West Bank. He says the U.S. is concerned about anything that threatens to destabilize the current truce.
It's a vote in the Knesset, but obviously I think the president's made clear that's not something we'd be supportive of right now, and we think there's potential even threatening to the peace deal. So they're a democracy, they're going to have their votes, people are going to take these positions, but at this time it's something that we think it might be counterproductive.
Gold is trading at $4,090.94 an ounce. The rand is at 17.44 to the dollar, 23.26 to the pound, 20.22 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $64.27 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N12 West. This is between Snake Road and Atlas Road due to an accident scene. Please be on the lookout there while traveling. On the N3 North, roadworks are taking place. And before the Baklu interchange delays coming out of Marlborough Drive, there was also queuing traffic on Marlborough Drive towards the N3 exit.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 27 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. The Gauteng government says it expects minimal changes to its budget as it prepares to hire thousands of new traffic officers.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app,
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
Seven minutes after 9 o'clock. Dumelang, Sanbonani, good morning. Welcome to the Clement Manyathela Show on this beautiful Thursday morning. Thursday, my favorite day of the week. Always energetic, always hopeful on a Thursday because it's like quarter to the weekend. Eh? This is the 23rd day of October and it's so wonderful to have you with us here on 702. I hope you're good this morning. And before we start anything, in fact, congratulations, Pirates, for beating Polokwane City 1-0. I mean, this lifts us to 18 points, if I'm not mistaken, which means that Sundowns needs to watch out because we're just 3 points behind. Okay? So, Pakania, thank you for showing once again how much of a brilliant team you are. Now that that is done and dusted, are you sad about the decision that the Premier of Gauteng was clearly forced to take about Amapanyaza, forced by the Public Protector, of course. The Premier preempted the Public Protector's report yesterday by announcing at a media briefing that Gauteng crime prevention wardens would be dissolved. They would be disbanded in a phased approach. And that's because the Public Protector, in a report she released last night, found that the wardens did not have powers to exercise police work. She also found that the Gauteng government acted outside the law in establishing the law enforcement unit. So they are now going to be trained as traffic cops while others will be absorbed as metro officers in the metros in the province. Now, wasn't the Premier warned multiple times that there is no legal framework that empowers this unit? My understanding is that these wardens spent about 3 months or so undergoing a grueling physical and mental test training. But that training didn't seem to be sufficient for them to be recognized as peace officers, because the recognition of the crime wardens under the Criminal Procedure Act would mean that they could work as peace officers with wide-ranging powers, including carrying guns and effecting arrests. But the issue was there was also no administrative system to manage them. I mean, imagine they were using firearms. I mean, that would pose a danger to members of the public, wouldn't it? Because they're not adequately trained. And both the Minister of Justice and the Minister of Police didn't give the green light. In fact, do you remember when Panyaza Lesufi even threatened the then Police Minister Bheki Cele? When Bheki Cele was saying no to recognizing the structure legally, Panyaza Lesufi threatened the minister. Do you remember that?
They say if you remove the statistics that Bheki Cele give about criminals in our province, South Africa is a better country. If we can fix Gauteng, we will fix South Africa in terms of crime. We have trained these young people to be police wardens. You as a minister, you are refusing to recognize them. Your days are numbered. You can't only young people assisting us to fight crime, you want to undermine them. You can't, when we have trained young people to be in the streets in our township and protect our young people when they are studying at night in our schools, you don't want to recognize them. We say to this minister, Give us the power for these young people to have the power to get guns so that they can protect our townships and chase away criminals in our own area.
I mean, where does the police minister get the power to somehow, I don't know, get the law from heaven and then legitimize this unit? Just doesn't make sense. But the Gauteng premier was saying to the police minister, your days are numbered. Can you imagine? That is wild. And we spoke about it at the time it happened. And in fact, Panyaza Lesufi had to come back and apologize. He released a statement after he threatened Bekikele, because you could tell that clearly Bekikele was upset, or the president wasn't happy about it, or the ANC itself, because he released a statement and apologized and said, I take full responsibility for this clip that was leaked and where I say these things about Bekikele. So even the Justice Department, if you remember, the Justice Department at some point said that for the wardens to exercise peace officer powers, they must assume the same legal status as Gauteng provincial traffic officers. But they can't exercise those powers because they were not trained for that. But the premier still insisted. And as General Mkhwanazi said, right, don't get me wrong, as General Mkhwanazi said, the premier's intentions were probably good here. But you can't argue with the law. And here's what I would like to know from you. Maybe you have encountered these wardens in your community. Please, can you tell me what influence or impact Amapanyaza have had in the safety of your community? Like, forget the politics for a minute, right? And yes, I do want to ask as well if you think this was a political gimmick, but I'm also interested in whether you have seen the impact in your experience. What difference have these wardens made in the fight against crime in your community from your own observations? Because they were tasked with eradicating or helping eradicate crime in specific areas across the province. So are you now convinced, looking at this report by the public protector, are you convinced that this was an election gimmick? Or do you think that the premier genuinely wanted to help supplement enforcement to deal with crime in the province? 011-883-0702. WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702. Let's talk. Between 10 and 11 o'clock, we're going to do the Hanging Out feature. Today I'm hanging out with Kayam Tetwa, the first ever black winner of Idols SA, an incredible artist. You have also heard him on the radio as a broadcaster. You've seen him on television, hosting a few TV shows. And today we get to know him better between 10 and 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock on our Thursday dialogue, we're going to have a different kind of a dialogue once again. We're going to take you to the parliamentary inquiry where the former minister, Bekikele, will be testifying. This is an important testimony, my friends. Remember, the police have shown that Bekikele has links to Ket Matlala, who is in jail, facing very serious charges. Bekikele has stayed at Ket Matlala's luxury apartment. He sent Ket Matlala banking details. He met Ket Matlala in Zimbabwe at Hangwani Maumela's house. Ket Matlala received a 300 million rand contract during the time Bekikele was police minister. Now you connect the dots. There are some serious questions that Bekikele has to answer. So we'll hear from him at 11 o'clock as he takes on the hot seat at the parliamentary inquiry. That's the show coming up over the next 3 hours.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Good morning, Clement and the listeners. I just have one question. What's going to happen to those expensive BMWs that were paid by the taxpayers' money? Very, very expensive cars for people who didn't even have guns. But Soshanguve, Victoria, police stations, they don't have friends to attend domestic cases. What's going to happen to those cars? Because probably they cost a lot of millions. Thank you.
Mentabo here from Pretoria, in position of road traffic management degree, and I couldn't continue on my master's because we've been applying for the traffic post, but you can't simply be hired because I think it's a completely thing before you can be hired. So this gets me to what Panyaza is doing now. He said those Amapanyaza are going to be taken into traffic police to become traffic wardens or whatever. But what about those who really studied for these courses? And what was the procedure for applying for those posts? What he's continuing to do is still illegal, in my opinion.
Good morning, Clement and the team. I actually love how Lesufi is being exposed for his empty promises. Like Mkwanazi once said, his intentions are good. However, the execution make no sense. Yeah? It never makes sense. Panyaza will promise and promise and promise, and it will always backfire. Like, stop lying. Stop lying and just say you can't do something or don't do it at all. Hey, ANC, Panyaza Lesufi must fall. Yes, sir.
So someone asked I think there's a good point that's being made around what happens to the people. Okay, let's say the Gauteng Traffic Police Department has posts for, let's say, 2,000 traffic officers. These are the current posts. Are you telling me that the Amapanyaza are somehow going to be then prioritized by the Department of Traffic, the traffic department here in Gauteng? So you put them on top, in front of the long list of other posts for people. Some of the people have been waiting for those jobs for so long. Or are they just going to be merely absorbed, right, as traffic officers, but that doesn't interfere with the posts that are already out? Because it would be unfair if Amapanyaza then are going to be prioritized to take over, the posts that are vacant in the traffic department, because they're just being parachuted there, basically, for lack of a better phrase or a better word. So does anybody understand that? Like, how is it going to work? Because their budget, from what I got from the Premier yesterday, was, no, that's fine, that doesn't change. But I'm trying to figure out, okay, so does it mean that the traffic department is going to be bigger, or the posts in the traffic department that are vacant are going to be filled by these wardens once they've undergone necessary training? If anybody knows, please give us a call or send a WhatsApp voice note. Entle, you're calling us from Ferndale. What are your thoughts? Good morning.
Hi, Clement. How are you?
Sure.
I'm good. Clement, yazi into engicika ngale nto le yamapanyaza ukuthi we have GCRA, which we don't know what happens to those funds at GCRA. Why are we not taking imali yamapanyaza instead of taking them back to traffic cops or whichever police department?
Mm-hmm.
Take the money, guys, and give it to GCRA students. I've got students in UCT, in UKZN, which are from Gauteng. They applied for GCRA, but they have not been approved. They are just idling. They don't know what's happening. What is happening with GCRA? I also promised those kids that if you are from Gauteng, you can study at UCT, you can study at UKZN. If you apply, you meet the criteria, you're going to get GCRA bursary.
Yeah.
None of the students got GCRA. I swear to God, go every you ask any GCRA students if have they got any funds. They have not got any funds. The only kids that got funds from GCRA are the kids that were top performers. That Upanyaza they were parading with a minister.
So sorry, Entle, just for clarity, the GCRA, is that like a funding of sorts? Like,
GCRA is equal to NSFAS, but for
I see.
Gauteng students.
Okay, Gauteng students, and they can study anything. It's not necessarily.
They can study anything as long as you've got a Gauteng address. You matriculated in Gauteng. You can study at UCT. You can study at UKZN.
Okay, so you're saying that there are a lot of people who have come back with qualifications and they are still not being they're still not getting jobs.
It's not even about getting jobs. It's about Gauteng province paying for their tuition fees.
So they haven't paid for their tuition fees?
I am telling you, none of them are none,
okay,
zero.
We'll find out.
I deal with a lot of students.
Okay, Antle, let me tell you, we'll check with the department, we'll check with the Gauteng government if people who have applied for this fund have received funding or not. Because Antle is suggesting here that none of the people who applied for this GCRS or GCR whatever funding, none of them have received it. So we'll check with the department and hopefully they can give us feedback. Hopefully before we wrap up the 702 open line, and you can maybe get an update on that and if there are any delays. But thank you for raising that, Entle in Fendale. Stephen, you are in Cosmos City. Have the Amapanyaza made any difference in your community?
No, definitely. You know, sometimes, like you said, politics aside, again, police visibility and Mawela Mo.
Yeah.
It really, it's just a pity because when you pray for the rain, you must deal with the mud. But there's this one guy, all he wants is to arrest these criminals, is to make sure that, believe you me, it helps a lot. It definitely helps. They want to bring politics. The problem is this: these guys must now no longer function. Let's squeeze them in. All we want is just positive vibes.
Yeah.
Let them work. Yeah, be safe. That's all we want.
And in Cosmos City, you did feel safe because that visibility did help.
Roadblock after roadblock. And sometimes criminals fall into that roadblock. They get arrested. The problem is that maybe sometimes those criminals pay these guys to let them go. But that is
okay, Stephen. Yeah. And of course, that raises other questions around the arrests. Like, can they do arrests on their own, or they would have to be with a police officer or a traffic officer? Because again, the legality of the entire structure and what they are responsible for is under question. Tricia, AB, Brian, I see your calls. I'll start with you after the break. It's 23 after 9.
Africa Milani.
Weekday mornings,
4 to 6.
How common an occurrence is it where if I am found to be liable for a debt that I'm not able to pay, that my pension will then be attached in lieu of my inability to pay?
For you and me, whose pensions are regulated in terms of the Pension Funds Act, that would not arise. Your pension fund cannot be taken into account if you owe a debt.
The Pension Funds Act protects you and I from having any liability attached to our pension, but it's a different case for Jacob Zuma because it's more of a salary allowance.
Africa Milani.
4 to 6 on 702.
Get ready, South Africa. Mzansi Ballet proudly presents Sean Bovim's Private Presley, the ballet, a spectacular reimagining of the life and legend of Elvis Presley, from his military days to his greatest loves, experience, the king of rock and roll. Story told through breathtaking dance, starring international ballet sensation George Wade from Mexico as Elvis and South Africa's own prima ballerina Angela Revi as Priscilla. Beautiful singers Logan James and Patience Mahema bring some of his unforgettable songs to life. Don't miss this unforgettable tribute on stage at Peter Torin Theatre, Monte Cassino on the 24th of October to the 30th of November. Book now at Web Tickets.
Do you live in an estate, complex or sectional title scheme? The Community Schemes Ombud Service invites you to the Seesaw Sindaba 2025 on the 23rd and 24th of October at the Canvas Riversands Fourways. Join the Minister of Human Settlements, Thembi Simelane, alongside government officials, industry experts and key stakeholders as we explore the future of harmonious living in estates. Register today on seesaws.org.za or on our social media platforms.
What do partners of the Gates Foundation do when facing the world's toughest challenges? They keep going. From discovering a plastic drape that helps detect excessive postpartum bleeding faster, to developing better bed nets to kill malaria-carrying mosquitoes, to researching an RSV vaccine that could save hundreds of thousands of children. For every problem, there are people who prove that progress is possible. The Gates Foundation, partners of human potential. Learn more at gatesfoundation.org/keep going.
Feel the rhythm of summer at the Old Mutual Music in the Gardens, featuring Mikasa and Jazeel Brothers, live on Saturday, 25 October at the Walter Sisulu Botanical Garden. Experience soulful sounds, sunshine, and good vibes in one of Joburg's most beautiful settings. Get your tickets now at webtickets.co.za. Proudly presented by Old Mutual, 702 and Breakout Events.
He's the boss, the legend, the man whose music defined generations. Now, his story hits cinemas in Springsteen, Deliver Me From Norway, from 24 October. And 702 is giving you the chance to win big this week. We're celebrating the icon with 2 truths and a lie. 3 facts about Bruce. One's not quite true. WhatsApp the keyword Springsteen ZA to 0702 702 1702. And we could call you to play every day this week. Spot the lie and win 2,000 Rand cash and a shot at a collector's vinyl package every fan will envy. T season more on primemediaplus.com. Only on 702.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
27 minutes after 9 o'clock. Back to your calls and WhatsApps. Tricia, you're calling us from Lenasia South. What's been your experience in your community about Amapanyaza?
Hi, Tate. It's actually very sad because if you look at our traffic wardens, a lot of them think that the uniform that they wear says it all. And I think it's actually very, very sad because there's times when I go to Main Reef Road, there's a McDonald's there, and then you see them sitting there and, having breakfast. After they have their breakfast, they still sit there, and then they help the staff with the phones, and then they want to interfere with the workers there and stuff like that. I had an occurrence in Lenasia South where there was a problem not far from where I live, and the traffic wardens were driving past, and when I tried to stop them, they totally ignored me. They drive these vehicles, with such shame. And I think your previous caller spoke about something, and you asked the question, do they have to be accompanied by SAPs? Do they have to be accompanied by the JMPD? And the answer is yes, because I work closely with SAPs in the area. And when I spoke to the warrant officers and the station commander, it was said that they are not qualified, number one, in order to stop people and search them. But when there's crime, they don't even come. But
so their visibility didn't make a difference, like the other listener suggested from Cosmo City?
No, definitely not.
Okay, Tricia, let's hear what the other listeners think. Tricia in Lenasia South says, no, their presence didn't make a difference. Vesutando says, Clement, I am in Pumbridge, and I can tell you and confirm Amapanyaza, we're doing a great job in our area, and they also assist the community at the police station. Another one says, Clement, the good thing about the Amapanyaza is police visibility. Every time I visit my mom in Eldos, I'm impressed by how they are everywhere. Let's go to Mike, who's calling us from Tembisa. Mike, hi.
Clement, how are you,
Sure, man. Go ahead.
Good, thank you. Just a quick one. There is nothing wrong with Mapanyaza, man. They were doing a sterling job. I happen to be in the law enforcement fraternity, and from time to time we're working with them. The only problem is, like you rightfully alluded to in your opening remarks, their appointment and the legalities around that. If that can be rectified and be fixed, then we need more police officers. Remember, we need more traffic and law enforcement officials. We need that.
Yeah.
Now, in the Mapanyaza, you look at them, there's a whole lot of different age groups. There are youngsters there, others they are older. Okay? And among the youngsters, if I may focus on that, some of them, they don't have matric. And one of the basic requirements to become a traffic officer, the criteria is have matric. If you've got a matric and a driving license, then you can be put through the entire evaluation, the process. You go to academy, it's 18 months course, they teach you criminal law, they teach you Criminal Procedure Act, National Road Traffic Act, National Land Transport Act, all of that. And then you pass. Then you come and you join us. You work with us. Now, the other question was, did they make an impact, any difference, yes or no? People will have their opinions again.
Yeah.
Some will say, no, we did not see any good about it. And some will say, yes, in my area, I've seen some slight difference. You know? So now it means then the question should be, all those arrests they have effected, what's going to happen?
Yeah, but also how did they effect those arrests, Mike? Because they don't have the powers to do it on their own.
Yes, that is the problem.
Yeah, Mike in Tembisa, thank you so much for your thoughts. It's 9:31. Swiso, hi.
Thanks, Clements. Good morning. Social Development Minister CCC Tolashe is planning a forensic investigation into the bungle involving the department's Director General's work contract. Last week, Tolashe asked Peter Nechipale to provide her with reasons why she should not be charged, or he should not be charged rather, with gross dishonesty for signing a contract with the wrong duration on it. While previously telling Parliament's Portfolio Committee this was a clerical error, answering questions in the National Assembly yesterday, Tolashe said the Director General can't escape accountability for the mishap. The mother of a grade 10 Milnerton High School pupil says she fears sending her son back to the school where he was assaulted by a group of older boys. A video of the attack, which has gone viral on social media, shows the 16-year-old beaten with a belt, a pipe and a large stick. 8 grade 11 pupils from the school have been suspended. And more than 600 people have fled one of Myanmar's most notorious scam centers and crossed into Thailand after a military raid on the compound. The compound was used as internet fraudsters targeting people with romance and business scams, and they've thrived along Myanmar's loosely governed border during its civil war sparked by a 2021 coup. A highly publicized crackdown starting in February saw around 7,000 workers repatriated, and Thailand enacts a cross-border internet blockade. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 10, or As It Happens.
EWN Traffic.
On the N3 North, we still have got delays between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu interchange. There's also queuing traffic on the M1 South. This is just as you approach the Crown interchange, and that's due to an accident right near the double-decker section. So please be on the lookout traveling along this route. There's also queuing traffic on the M1 South. This is between the Baklu interchange and Marlborough Drive. So please keep an eye there and approach with care. Traveling in the Bedfordview area, we've got some delays on the N12 West. This is between Edenville Road and the Kilulis interchange. I'll have more updates for you. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Johannesburg, the Ellis Park Roar is back. The Lions are home and the Vodacom URC season has begun. This year, the mission is simple. Let's do it for our city. We are the Lions' pride, and this weekend, we defend our fortress. The massive challenge is here. Our Lions take on the hardcore, relentless force of Ulster. It's a clash of titans you cannot miss. We need you, your voice, your passion, your full-throated support at the stadium. Join the Lions' pride and show the world what Joburg rugby is made of. This is your game. This is your city. This is the Vodacom United Rugby Championship. Get your tickets now at Ticket Pro or the Lions Rugby website. Be part of the pride. Hashtag for our city.
Time. When you're a kid, it moves slower than a sloth trying to get through airport security. There is just so much of it. Skip forward a few years to your 20s. Time is still your friend. It says have some balance. Go party and have fun. Then your 30s hit. And time suddenly steps on the accelerator like it's trying to catch a traffic light before it goes red. 40s. Now time is moving faster than your 10-year-old on a sugar high. 50. You're desperately trying to save as much as you can, but time is moving so fast. And all you can think is, where did all the time go? That's why after 50 years of investing, we've learned that time is the greatest gift of all. And the good news is, if you invest early, time gives you money. And then money gives you more time for some much-deserved you time. Now, isn't that a compelling enough reason to invest? Ellen Gray. Long-term investing. Ellen Gray is an authorized FSP.
Joburg businesses, this is it. The Prime Media Prime Impact Sales Event is here, 3 to 7 November.
Register now and get a free demo commercial revealed live at the event, a tailored campaign for your business, and access to exclusive annual partnerships.
Prime Media is SA's leading media company with the audience reach and products to grow your brand.
Seats are nearly gone. Register today at primeimpact.co.za.
As South Africa assumes the G20 presidency in 2025, 702 and Standard Bank Group bring you exclusive conversations with the voices shaping Africa's economic future.
In these conversations, you have corporate leaders who are participating and who are very clear in terms of what they're trying to drive. So having the right individuals in these conversations is important for us as a bank. When we start thinking about being in these forums, there is a focus that says, how do we work together to create opportunities for SMEs? How do we work together to close the funding gap for SMEs? And how do we work together to create adequate support structures for SMEs?
Brought to you by Standard Bank Group on 702. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
On 702.
23 minutes before 10 o'clock. Before we go back to the calls, let's start with some WhatsApps on 072 702 1702. We've been talking about Amapanyaza, the decision that the Gauteng Premier has taken, clearly forced by the Public Protector, because the Premier yesterday held a press briefing preempting the report of the Public Protector, which was released last night, in which the Public Protector found that the wardens did not have powers to exercise police work. So the Gauteng government also acted outside the law in establishing the law enforcement unit. So the Premier announced that this unit is going to be disbanded. And I've been asking, one, do you think, now that you know what you know from what the Public Protector has said, but also the warnings that have come before for the Premier of Gauteng, this is not the first time that he is being told what the Public Protector is telling him. So was this an election gimmick, do you think? Or do you think the Premier genuinely wanted to help supplement enforcement to deal with crime in the province? And I want to know, beyond the politics, what was your experience on the ground? In your experience, what difference did these wardens make in the fight against crime in your community? I'm receiving some good reviews, but I'm also receiving some bad reviews. Listen to this guy on the WhatsApp line. Says, Clement, Amapanyaza beat me 2 years ago. They beat me up for refusing to pay a bribe after they asked for a passport that I was in possession of. At Ivory Station, that commander at the police station refused for me to open the case on that same day. I went to the Midrand police station, but I was sent back as the incident had happened in Ivory Park. So till today, I made peace with the fact that nothing is going to happen to them, and now I'm told that they are illegal. AB, you are calling us from Randburg. Good morning.
How are you, Clement?
Hi, AB, go ahead.
Yes. Clement, Tisha has said it all regarding Amapanyaza, and I'm in support of that. But in their defense, it's not their own doing. It's Panyaza's doing. Because he knew what he was taking on and bringing them into the legal system, things that they don't even understand. So Panyaza has committed crime on a national stage, and I'm waiting to see. Panyaza must be arrested. He should have been arrested yesterday already, after his press conference. He belongs in jail, and all the laws
on what
are not
charge, AB?
He broke the law. Kegikele told him. Justice Minister told him that this is illegal, but he went ahead. He wasted the taxpayers' money on illegal things, that his shenanigans for electioneering and all that.
Okay. AB in Randburg, thank you for your thoughts. The Public Protector doesn't recommend that he be charged unless I've missed it, but he does say that these people must undergo training. Let's go to some WhatsApps on 072 702 1702.
Clement, Amapanyaza in my community have not had any effect because I stay not far from Westbury, where the shootings happen. And most of the wardens that are in my neighborhood are from Westbury. They live there at the flats and all those other places. They know the area very well. They went to school there. I know them. They have not had any effect. The only thing, you see them walking around our neighborhood, buying food and just chilling at the robots at the garage, the Sasol garage close to ShopRite in Newlands. They don't do anything. They don't do anything. When traffic lights are down, they don't control traffic. They just sit there and buy food the whole day and just gossip and walk around. That's all they do.
Morning, Clement. It was always about elections, always about elections. That's how Panyaza functions. That's how Panyaza thinks. Things are about theatrics and spectacle, nothing else. No deep, meaningful, sustained thinking, strategic thinking. And I'm afraid we're going to be seeing more of that stuff as we move towards the local government elections. Thanks, Clement, Tabo, Midrand.
Good day, Clement. Good day, 702 lenders. Abraham in Florida. Clement, in as far as the Amapanyaza are illegal, it means Panyaza can be in big trouble if the families of the deceased Amapanyaza that were shot and killed can take on this case. Because remember, they don't have any law that protects or enacts that they should be there in the first place. So it is illegal and it is wrong of the premier to take these people and put them in the streets without any supporting act or law that supports that they should be there. Also, I think that they should convert it into a security company, and just like they do with the JMPD, just rebrand.
Morning, Mr. Malimeja. The Amapanyaza was a very, very good idea. Very brilliant idea. No, I still support the idea. But I think it was supposed to be done the right way. If it was done the right way, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be in this situation. Actually, when are we voting for national? When are we going on national vote? When are we voting nationally? Because we are tired of these people who are lying to us. They're telling us this. On the other hand, they're doing something different. If Amapanyaza were done the right way, there wouldn't be such. I don't have a problem with that. But I have a problem with the way it was done. Because you find someone who's 50 years old. He's working at the Amapanyaza. But then there's someone who's 25 years old sitting at home doing nothing. Come on.
Well, my friend, you just voted last year. So you still have to wait 4 more years before you vote. You can vote in the national elections. But you've got the local government elections coming up next year. Sister, you're calling us from Parkview. Good morning.
Hi, Clement.
Hey,
How
Tara.
are you?
Sure.
Look, Clement, there's always an insufficient training with these Amapanyazas. I mean, in communities where I have worked, they were just a nuisance. They were like walking around, fear-mongering tendencies, threatening communities, not doing even what they were supposed to do. I don't even think they understood what was their mandate. Why were they placed in the communities? Some of them, let me not just say everyone, some of them, and in most communities where I've worked. However, now I heard Panyaza himself is actually saying, I employed people who were not fully trained, who were not fully capable of doing the work. Now I'll redeploy them in government facilities. You're going to redeploy people in government facilities who didn't even qualify for your program, right? Now we're going to have people in the government facilities who are not trained. Then we'll have consultants working in the background trying to cover what the gaps that would be there because people that are there don't qualify. Lastly, Clement, these people that cannot be deployed anywhere because they don't meet the criteria, they don't qualify at all. When they decide to take Opanyaza Lesotho to court because once you sign a contract, the person that the contract is you are obliged to that contract. When they decide to take Panyaza Lesotho to court, legal action against Panyaza Lesotho, who is going to pay for that? The taxpayers are going to pay for all Panyaza Lesotho's politicking. It was always about the elections. It has never been about the people, because if it was for the people, he would have started training with these communities. And Faith Maziboko also played a role when she said they must be put in as peacemakers or whatever. I can't remember what was the exact word. But that's the thing. Panyaza Lesotho has been allowed to get away with a lot through politicking. And I think it's about time Panyaza Lesotho is held accountable, and he has to pay at some point for what he has done, because he has really damaged a lot of people, and he continues to make promises that he knows very well he cannot deliver.
Yeah. Sister, in Parkview, Parktown, thank you so much for your thoughts. Pizzo, you're in the East End. Hi.
Sure.
Okay, ba nkile dintlha tse ngata ne. So a re khutlele morago re ile ra bana le we once had the reservist go sponiseng. And then re bana le ma reservist because ne re entse ntho e ke SDU, self defense unit. So now a lot of us re ile ra tlohela sekolo just to protect our country. Now then we were absorbed into the police space. And then a lot of us didn't have matric. They took upon themselves to make sure that they give us those skills, they take us to those technical and stuff like that. Now, the idea of Panyaza, it's still okay. So we just need to double check with all the stakeholders. Those who are paying, those who bought the idea. Now, what's next? Because in our area, I promise you, my brother, Mapanyaza Habatsamaya, Batsamaya, traffic officers. In most cases, you'll find 2 traffic officers in their van, whatever van or it's a private, they use that. And then the crime has it a whole affair.
Okay, it's good to hear that pizza in the East Rand. Let's hear from Mohlalefi in Johannesburg. What's your experience, Mohlalefi? Hi.
Madimecha, good morning, and to the 702 listeners.
Sure.
I just want to, ask maybe to agree to a point that the issue of crime in Gauteng is a big issue. And we need to accept that the crime wardens are a needed in the intervention in fighting crime. And then, two, Madimecha, I think one thing that we need to appreciate is the fact that the Gauteng provincial government has always been responsive, to the issues that were raised with regards to the establishment of Amapanyaza. Remember that when Minister Lamula was still Minister of Justice, a permission was granted then that the Amapanyaza will get the status of being peace officers, and that was done. And also, in response to whatever issues that have been raised by authorities, I think the provincial government is taking all the right steps into moving to ensure that they are applicable and compliant to the law. Clement, you need to talk to stadium management at FNB Stadium. You need to talk to management at Loftus Verswerf, and they will tell you the impact that these wardens have made in their big events since their establishment. So I think we can't be celebrating that there's a threat of losing more boots on the ground, as if now we do appreciate the crime. I think we just need to try and be realistic and appreciate the fact that the Premier and the provincial government are taking all the necessary steps as recommended by various authorities to ensure that we do have this force that is compliant and in helping to fight the crime in our province.
Yeah, if they had only listened also, Mohlalefi, to the warnings in the beginning that, this structure is not legal. There are certain processes you need to follow for the unit to be legally recognized and legally constituted. And I don't think they listened to that advice. Instead, the Premier was busy threatening Bekikele for not recognizing the unit. He had to come back and apologize. I played that clip earlier on. If only he had also listened, because nobody argues with what the intention of this unit was supposed to do. As you can hear, opinion is divided. There are some communities who are saying, these guys made a huge difference. There are some people who say, no, it didn't work for us. But that doesn't take away the experience of other communities who have seen the impact of Amapanyaza. But you've got to do things according to the law. And when you are being warned that you're not doing things according to the law, you can't be telling people their days are numbered. No. Take advice. If you took advice, training to be a traffic cop doesn't take many years. How many months is it? It's not that long. Had you listened and you took them through that rigorous training, you would still have additional capacity in Gauteng right now as we speak. It's 10 minutes before 10.
702. Serving the 702 family in 702 land. including those of you in Boksburg. Named after South African Republic State Secretary Edward Bork, gold was discovered in Boksburg in 1887. It became one of the most important gold-producing towns on the Witwatersrand, as well as a diversified industrial center. Notable residents of Boksburg have included former Springbok rugby player Brian Habana, former WBA World Heavyweight Boxing Champion Gerrit Coetzee, and SACP and ANC leader Chris Hani. 702. Let's walk the talk across 702 land, including Boksburg.
Stamina Grow is a 5-in-1 supplement with amino acids, antioxidants, B vitamins, and other essential vitamins and minerals. Stamina Grow helps promote energy, well-being, immune defense, and mental vitality. Stamina Grow, 22 years of supporting Mzansi. Ranked amongst the top 5 best-performing multivitamin brands in SA. Stamina Grow. Grow for it.
You are not dreaming. You are repeating. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Win a year's supply of fuel with Engine. Plus, stand a chance to win one of 5 double rugby tickets to see Wales versus South Africa live in Cardiff. To enter, spend 600 Rand or more when you fill up at any Engine. 2 lucky winners will win every week. Pay with the Engine One app and double your chances to win. T's and C's apply. Engine. With us, you are number one.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
8 minutes before 10 o'clock. Busa, you're in Alberton. Good morning.
Clement, how are you?
Hey, Tzara.
Sub Brahman. Yeah, man. Yeah, this issue of Mapanyas, I am a law enforcement person, so I used to work with them, so I know the impact that they did. Normally, when especially on the big games like stadium in Eastern, when they put us on the point, we are they are putting them on the.
Oh, Busa, the line is not good, my friend. Let me put you back. Try and re-establish that line. In the meantime, let's go to the WhatsApps.
Morning, Clement. I also stay in Cosmo City. These green beans, that the ones who bring peace in every squatter camp, every location. They are the ones who bring peace in shopping centers. And actually, in Joburg, there is a little bit of safety because of the guys. And now, it's pity that they are trying to eradicate the green beans. Because actually, to tell the fact, safety is a little bit shining in most of the squatter camp.
Morning, Clement and team. Mapari here report. My experience with the Mampanyas wasn't good because I was just walking in town with my school bag because I wanted to buy something in town. So the 2 guys came in, they were like, we want to search you. I'm like, no, bro, we don't do that. You cannot search me. This is Joburg. People get mugged. And then this other guy was trying to handle me. There were 2 of them. So I'm like, all right, guys, let's go to the police. There's the police. Search me if you want to search me. So what I've countered with that, it was there was not a lot of, you can tell there's no training. Like they just want to enforce something, and then their approach was bad. And then I was like, guys, there's illegal immigrant there in Bree. You busy harassing me and then say you want to search me, but there's people there. So you can tell that there was not a lot of training. My experience wasn't good, but not saying that the visibility wasn't good.
Jamapanya were working, bro. You know Oliven there, Oliven Bosch. These guys have literally reduced the crime rate there. They were working, or they're still working. They're effective. It's just that politics is at play. So hey, what can we do? The people shall suffer. But they were working.
Busa, you are in Alberton. You were still making your point that as a police officer, you worked with them. And what was your experience?
Yeah, like I'm saying, Clement. Normally when they post us on the when they having the game.
Yeah.
As they post us on the port, then they are going to post them on the parking lot so that they got those cars, because normally people when they went inside watching the.
Busa, we tried, my friend. We tried. We tried for the second time there, but the line is bad. But Busa says he's a police officer. He's worked with the Mapanyaza, and they were doing great work. They were great enforcement to them as police officers. As I've said, also sometimes just put the politics aside. And yes, you can have your own comment about whether you think this was a political gimmick or not. But also, people on the ground have had experiences with Amapanyaza. There are people that have been beaten by these guys. But also there are people who have seen the benefit of them being in their communities. There are other people who have seen them walking around doing nothing, who feel they've been useless. But there are other people who say their visibility has helped in their attempt to eradicate crime in their communities. So all in all, I don't think anybody would be against a unit like this whose intention is to help fight crime. The issue here is this unit legally constituted? And if it is not legally constituted, were you warned that it is not legally constituted? And the answer here is yes. Why didn't you act then? Why did you have to wait for the public protector to tell you the same thing that so many other people have told you? I hope this will be a lesson to the Gauteng government. It's 3 minutes before 10.
The Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra celebrates its 25th anniversary with its Spring Symphony season, opening with the annual joint performance by the Johannesburg and KZN Philharmonic Orchestras. The season runs from 30 October until 20 November, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. at the Linda Auditorium. Tickets available on Quicket.
The Discovery Vitality Chicken Run, flavored by Nando's, is coming the Saturday, the 8th of November. Well, not this Saturday, but the Saturday next month, 8th of November, with a 5 kilometer or 10 kilometers through the streets, reimagined by Josie My Josie. Find the Discovery Vitality Chicken Run on racepass.com to enter. The Discovery Vitality Chicken Run, flavored by Nando's. It's a run for everyone.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We're also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct to give you balanced programming, fair comment, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we're not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, PO Box 412365, Craig Hall 2024. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
Your voice. Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
It's a minute before 10 o'clock. Just an update on what's been happening at the parliamentary inquiry. The former police minister, Clement, is going to begin with his testimony before Parliament's ad hoc committee. Remember, this is very important testimony. In fact, if anything, Clement is more implicated, right, in as far as the relationship with Ket Matlala is concerned. He is more implicated as a former police minister than the current police minister, Senzo Mchunu. Yeah? So there's too much evidence that has been presented before Madlanga Commission and before the committee that links directly to Clement and a direct relationship with Ket Matlala than Senzo Mchunu and Ket Matlala, for instance. And not to say those two themselves didn't have a relationship, but we haven't even seen any texts where the current minister, Senzo Mchunu, speaks to Ket Matlala. In fact, he said, I don't know that person. Whereas Clement has sent him bank account details. He's lived at Ket Matlala's luxury apartment, stayed there. He's met him in Zimbabwe in Hangwani Maumela's house. So he tried to call him, 8 times or so as soon as Ket Matlala was arrested. There's a questionable relationship here, and he's got some serious questions to answer. So normally with these testimonies, they take a long time just establishing who you are, what you've done before. So we're going to go live there at 11 o'clock for our Thursday dialogue. because I think that's where the meat will be coming out, where he'll be trying to defend himself against the allegations that have been made. But coming up next after the news, it's the Hanging Out feature with Kayam Tetwa. You don't want to miss it. It's 10 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Former Police Minister Gauteng has arrived in Parliament to face the ad hoc committee investigating police corruption. Gauteng's testimony comes after his successor, Senzo Mkunu's 3-day appearance before the committee. Mkunu was grilled by the evidence leader, Advocate Norman Arendse, as well as other MPs on his decision to disband the political killings task team. During his testimony, Mkunu defended his decision and denied having links to crime syndicates. Babalo Ndenze reports.
Minister Senzo Mkunu, who is currently on a leave of absence, says he's done all he can to explain his version of events to Parliament. Over the last 4 days of his evidence, Mkunu was questioned over his alleged links to questionable people who are implicated in serious crime, like murder-accused Vusumuzi Matlala. Mkunu's insistence that the political killings task team be disbanded immediately was also a bone of contention for most MPs. But Mkunu welcomed the conclusion of his testimony.
Yeah, I would say the platform has been there, provided, and I had an opportunity to say what I wanted to say.
Mkunu's evidence will be followed by Clement, Acting Minister Firoz Kachalia, and Police Deputy Ministers Kessel Matale and Poli Boshielo. Babalo Ndense, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Social Development Minister Sisisi Tolashe is planning a forensic investigation into the bungle involving the department's Director General's work contract. Last week, Tolashe asked Peter Nechipale to provide her with reasons why he should not be charged with gross dishonesty for signing a contract with the wrong duration on it. While previously telling Parliament's Portfolio Committee this was a clerical error, answering questions in the National Assembly yesterday, Tolashe said the Director General can't escape accountability for the mishap. Lindsay Dentlinga reports.
2 weeks ago, Minister Sisisi Tolashe said the mistake in the Director General's contract occurred in the paperwork between Cabinet, which approved a 1-year contract, and the Department of Public Service and Administration, which presented Peter Nechipale with a 5-year contract. However, yesterday, on a question from the MK party, Tolashe said taking disciplinary steps against Nechipale is part of strengthening administrative accountability and integrity in the department.
We're in the process of finalizing a forensic investigation in order to get to the bottom of this matter. I want to place it on record that this investigation is not witch hunt intended to throw anyone under the bus.
But the EFF's Paulnita Murray was puzzled as to how an alleged administrative glitch has led to gross dishonesty charges against Nechipale.
He must be able to be taken through a process. If he does have the facts, he must rectify and take the minister into confidence.
Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
The mother of a grade 10 Milnerton High School pupil says she fears sending her son back to the school after he was assaulted by a group of older boys. A video of the attack, which has gone viral on social media, shows the 16-year-old being beaten with a belt, a pipe and a large stick. 8 grade 11 pupils from the school have been suspended. Carlo Peterson reports.
The mother of the boy being assaulted in the video says she's still in disbelief about the incident. Speaking from Milnerton Police Station, where her son was making a statement yesterday, she lamented the school suspension of the alleged perpetrators.
I'm not happy with the suspension as well because the kids are going to go back to school. Our kids are not safely.
She says she's been deeply hurt by the experience and wants justice for her son.
I want the law to take its course. I just want the law to take its course because it's a serious case. They can't assault the kids. And they big boys, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds.
The boy's mother says she's also disappointed in the school for what she has described as a lack of communication on the matter. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
And more than 600 people have fled one of Myanmar's most notorious scam centers and crossed into Thailand after a military raid on the compound. The compound, where internet fraudsters target people with romance and business scams, have thrived along Myanmar's loosely governed border during its civil war sparked by a 2021 coup. A highly publicized crackdown starting in February saw around 7,000 workers repatriated and Thailand enact a cross-border internet blockade. But an AFP AP investigation this month revealed construction has continued rapidly while Starlink internet service receivers have been installed en masse, seeming to connect the hubs to the Elon Musk-owned satellite network. Authorities say they are working on determining if individuals are victims of human trafficking, and if not, they may be prosecuted for illegal border crossing. Gold is trading at $4,090.94 an ounce. The rand is at 17.44 to the dollar, 23.26 to the pound, 20.22 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $64.27 a barrel.
And in the traffic in the city of Tshwane, Fountains Valley, we still have got heavy traffic volumes along the N14 North. This is between Weirder Road and Euphus Road. Please be on the lookout there. About a 20-minute hold up. I'm currently seeing roadworks taking place just after Old Johannesburg Road. So please be patient along this route. If you're traveling in Calvin, more roadworks are causing delays between Vincent Chabalala Road and the Baklu interchange. About a 20-minute hold up there as well. Please be on the lookout there.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 27 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Former Police Minister Clement has arrived in Parliament to face the ad hoc committee investigating police corruption.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
7 minutes after 10 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the second hour of the Clement Manyathela Show. Thank you for staying with us here on 702, and thank you for your contributions on the 702 open line. Always appreciate your calls and your WhatsApps and your tweets as well. Just a reminder of what's happening at the parliamentary inquiry. Bekele, the former police minister, has arrived. He's going to start with his testimony, but as you have seen previously, it really starts slow because they talk about his work experience. When did you become a police officer? A police minister. And then they get to really the nuts and bolts later on. So I'm going to take you live to the parliamentary committee at 11 o'clock. I think his evidence will be led for about 4 hours, and then afterwards they're going to allow the members of parliament to ask him questions. And as I've said in the previous hour, he's got some really serious questions to respond to. So that's what's coming up on our Thursday dialogue at 11 o'clock. But right now, we start with our Hanging Out feature.
Hanging Out with Clement
on 702.
Let's Walk the Talk.
On our Hanging Out feature this morning, we've got gospel artist Khaya Mthethwa. You have heard him on the radio as a broadcaster. You've seen him on television. You've enjoyed his music over the years, and he's here in studio to chat to us and hang out with us as we get to know him better. How are you doing, brother, man?
I'm good, and you, Clement? Thank you so much for having me.
Who are you blowing kisses to?
Nangu.
Oh.
Skim Sam.
Skim Sak.
Yeah, Skim Sam. Anel is outside.
Anel and the daughter is outside the studio, and she's behind me, and I see Khaya is busy blowing kisses. There she is. Hey, how are you doing? You're interrupting my guest here.
I absolutely love him. I absolutely love him. And he's singing at the wedding.
Oh my God!
It's going down. That's Adele there jumping into studio. How are you doing, brother?
I'm very good, sir. Very good. Thank you so much for having me. It's good to see you.
I haven't seen you probably in 8 years.
You haven't seen me, but I hear you most of the time.
Yeah, well, I listen to you most of the time myself. No, thank you so much for coming through, man. I really appreciate it. How have you been? Just generally.
Generally, I've been good. It's been a good year. About to close off the year with a bang, and I'm excited. A lot has happened this year, but also I'm grateful to God. Just there's a lot that's been happening. Growth, expanding into new territories, business, church, family. It's been actually really, really good year.
How do you manage all of that? Because there's a lot that's going on, a lot on the plate.
Yeah, it's challenging at times, but I accredit it to good teams. If you've got the right people, that you work with. You can't do everything yourself. And so if you've got people working around you, especially in Zesont or church people, there's people around leadership. You've got strong guys that you're working with. In my career, I've got strong people that I'm working with as well. So it comes together nicely at the end of the day. It's a bit chaotic sometimes, but it comes together.
So I want us to go back to Mlazi, where you grew up. Did you actually have a choice not to get into the music industry, given that you grew up in an environment that was conducive for you to be an artist?
My parents were very open to find yourself, discover what you are.
Oh, yeah?
Discover what you want. And
They
then go
didn't
for it.
force you to learn the piano.
Absolutely not. I used to gravitate there. I naturally gravitated after church. I was those kids making noise after church, banging the drums. So it's a normal, you're gravitating towards that thing. And then they ask you, do you wanna study piano? You look like you're interested in this. My dad was a guitarist, so he taught me a bit of guitar because I was very, inquisitive about it as well. So it was just a general, finding yourself and then developing those talents as we go along.
Does that also apply in terms of joining the ministry as well? Do you think being in that environment sort of led you there, or did you naturally gravitate towards that as well?
The ministry is different for me. It was hard for me, because for me, I felt like they're better people. I'd look around and be like, there are so many better people, so many more gifted people, so many people that I even look up to at the time where I'm like, this one would make a great pastor. You know what I mean? So you look at yourself and you're just like, no, there's no way that I can be equipped. But there's a sense that you have, but there's just anxiety and you're scared and whatever. Until again, my dad would come to me and be like, you're gifted, you're talented. And my dad is a big leadership developer, so he's always like giving people platforms, giving young people platforms. So it'd be like, maybe share, just hear how you feel. You know what I mean? So it was, I was always scared. But he unearthed that gift in me, I must say.
How did they? Because they sometimes call like pastors' kids, but these are PKs.
PKs, yeah.
My PKs. How did your parents and also just the church navigate you being on Idols? Because there are churches out there that are like, Matimoni, who Idols, it was singing about love and strawberries and romantic scenes. What are you doing?
No, it was a culture shock for them. It's something that was, a taboo. It's something that's not on, for them it's like joyous.
Yes,
into these Christian
that's the natural progression.
And then you build from there. So coming out of that, again, it's for me, my exposure to music was not just church, but I grew up, the opening of ICC Durban, I sang there. The opening of Shaga Marine World, I sang there. So I've been gigging as a child, 13, 14, 15, 16, doing corporate gigs, doing theater stuff. So I've always been around that space outside of gospel music. So I'd be singing Motown stuff. I'd be singing a show, doing this, Joseph and the Multicolor, coats. So for me personally, it was like, I can do it because I've been doing it for like 5-10 years previously during my high school days. But for my parents and the people in the church, it was tough. It was a real tough move for them to say that, hey, do you still think that, God is in this thing? So, but when they saw that, it's just a platform. And who I am, I imprint my character, my nature, my spirit on the platform, not necessarily the platform doing it to me.
Did you face any pressure though, when you were at Idols? In fact, even when you won, the first Black Idol, and you have to now produce an album. Because naturally, like, Idols will probably also advise, I don't know how it works, and say, this is where you should go, this is the kind of music to follow. Did you face any pressure to do a particular album or music after you won?
I think there was pressure to do one, and that's why I did one. So my first album was an R&B album called For You. It's an album that has, Move and, Girl, You Got My Heartbeat Running Away. All that stuff that I did on Idols, it's that record that has that. But I felt good doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
you did enjoy
I felt natural. It felt good. It felt like it's a phase in my life where I can express, how I feel about love, how I feel about, attraction, how I feel about being brokenhearted, how I feel about all these things that I'd already gone through and get to express them on a record.
And did you know at the time that actually this is the this is the path I'm going to take? Or did you know that I'm just going to do one album about love, but I'm going to gospel after?
Absolutely. I knew exactly where I was headed to, but I knew that I can pass through this route on my way to where I know I was going. Absolutely.
And then what was the second album then?
The second album was
The Uprising?
The Uprising, yeah.
I mean, The Uprising was amazing. Like, that was it was an uprising because, I remember when I was hearing it at the time with my friends, we were going through our own revival, quote unquote, of sorts.
Sure.
And it played such a critical role. And I wonder, when you look back and you look at The Uprising, what do you think that album was intended for? And when you look at the success of it, what are just your reflections of that album and how you conceptualize it? And because that album was great, bro.
Thank you, sir. That album is full of music I wrote in my teens. One of the very first songs I ever wrote, I was on that record. That introduced me to songwriting and introduced me to hearing people sing. I'm kidding. It got me to the place where I understood that it's possible. The dream is possible. Whatever star, sun that you want, it can rise. No matter, it was looking like, when it's just before the dawn of the morning, and you're just like, it's still that darkness. But that album meant that's the dawning of my new day. That's the uprising of my life. And the music on there, I had never dreamt that anyone will ever hear it. Ever. None of it was written, now I'm a recording artist, or now none of it. All of it is just like bedroom stuff. All of it is like on stage stuff for church. None of it was positioned for public consumption. So seeing the success of that record is just a testament that God is faithful and your dreams are valid, and that whatever you've put in your heart to do, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? There's no dream too small and there's no dream too big.
Oh, yeah, that's incredible. 17 minutes after 10 o'clock, Khaya Mthethwa is on our Hanging Out feature. We'll take your calls if you want to chat to him, if you want to tell us how you've been impacted by his music, his career on the radio, on television. 011-883-0702 is the number to dial. WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702.
Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
I wonder whether there'll be calls for Premier Panyaza to resign. They knew when they established Panyaza that it was done outside of any legal framework. If we knew it, surely they knew it. We invited Mayor Faith Mazibuko to come and explain. She didn't want to come. But we said that there's no legal basis upon which you can establish these peace wardens. The shenanigans, man, the skullduggery, it continues even in the face of what we are seeing at the Madlanga Commission. There must be accountability. A law has been built.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702. What you're hearing isn't a traffic accident. It's not panic braking. It's our amazing car-stopping 40th birthday deals. For a limited time only, Auto & General is offering great savings with our 40th birthday Ruby deals. Celebrate with us by visiting autogen.co.za for great personal and business car insurance savings. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online. Offer available for a limited time only.
There's something magical about booking your next getaway. Whether you're flying for business or leisure, Airlink is ready to take you there in premium comfort. With over 45 destinations in 15 African countries, Airlink connects you throughout Southern Africa and beyond. No middle seats, just wider window or aisle seating. And yes, free luggage, snacks and beverages are still our thing. Plus, our Skybucks frequent flyer program rewards you every time you fly. Book on flyairlink.com or your travel agent. Fly Airlink, the freedom of the African sky.
Rent up. Food up, electricity up, everything up, up, up. Except demos at Motor Select. This Friday and Saturday only, we're bringing prices down on demo models from leading brands. Trade your car in and get up to 100,000 Rand trade-in assist in our Demo Deal Dash. 2 days only. Visit SA's largest dealer network at motorselect.co.za to shop our demo range.
Win a year's supply of fuel with Engine. Plus, stand a chance to win one of 5 double rugby tickets to see Wales versus South Africa live in Cardiff. To enter, spend 600 Rand or more when you fill up at any Engine. 2 lucky winners will win every week. Pay with the Engine One app and double your chances to win. T's and C's apply. Engine. With us, you are number one.
Hanging Out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
19 minutes after 10 o'clock, we're hanging out with Clement Manyathela. And, you know, being an artist that he is, I do want us to spend a lot of time also playing some of his favorite music. I do want to play some of your songs too. I mean,
go ahead.
Already some listeners are asking that we play some of your songs that are their favorites. And you didn't give us any of your songs to play.
I was asked to give you some stuff that I listen
you listen
to. You know what I mean?
You don't listen to your songs?
No. Why would I listen to myself?
You don't?
Why?
Well,
I hate listening to myself.
To be fair, I hate listening to myself doing the work. Oh, that's fascinating.
Oh, no.
But sometimes there's a song you wrote, like you said, in your teen years that would minister to you at a certain stage of your life because of something you're facing or whatever you're dealing with.
Do you know what happens? When I write the song, I immerse myself in it so much. I listen to it over and over and over again until it's like I lose everything that has to do with that song. Once I'm done with it, I'm done with it. You know, especially also once it's out there. It's almost like, okay, it's out there for the guys to hear.
Are you a perfectionist?
100%.
Yeah. So, because when you listen to yourself, then you say,
yeah, I'm
wrong.
Like,
okay. Here's one of Clement Manyathela's favorite songs that he listens to. Amanda Black, Amazulu.
I'm drifting away into the darkness. Izothatha umthwalo ndimeke mqolo mama. Ubomi bunzima. Just lift my head up high. Open my eyes and I will fly. Oh, I'm barely coping. I'm feeling closing. Looking up, hoping the heavens will open. Mdali wesulu, dikhalela kuwe. Open up. I'm feeling closer now. The light is shining brighter, but I'm losing my flow. Kudala, isiwa ndivuka. Ndifuna noluthando. Kudala, ndifuna ubomi buvume vungama ngonya. Vungama, vuleka. Vuleka masulu. Vuleka masulu. Vuleka masulu. Oh, vuleka masulu. Vuleka masulu. Vuleka masulu. I'm giving, they taking, tripping, I'm falling. Tell me I'm nothing, don't care what they're saying. I'm begging you, darling, stop losing your flow. No more drifting, away. Livumile kamaku, akulekila masulu. I'm fighting for survival. Dilikawe, dingonyama.
Come on. Hey. You know, we can do a collab of songs, eh? Yeah, a collaboration of songs with Clement and Kaya.
Hi, Clement. Hello, Pauline here from Centurion. You've got one of my faves in the studio, Clement Manyathela. You know, I recently attended one of Benjamin Dube's concerts at Carnival City, and Kaya was there as well singing. When I realized that the bishop was calling the sons to come and do a rendition of each song that he sings. I just knew it, that Kaya will be like, you say I am the vine. Oh my word! That song, no matter what I'm going through, it always reminds me of God's love. But can Kaya sing that song? But Clement, don't attempt to be Benjamin. Just when Angie, listen. Just acapella, pat ela yahe ela. Love you, Kaya. Kaya Mthethwa. That's how they used to call him at Idols.
Okay, with that energy, you have to say.
So the chorus is, you will never leave me. You'll never leave me. You will never leave me. You will never leave.
Good morning, Clement. Chilling with one of my favorite gospel artists there, Mr. Clement Manyathela. His music played a very vital role in my life. There was once a point where everything was just dark, man. When you're moving and you don't know if you're going forward or you're going backwards, or you don't understand the direction of your life. And there's this song, le ukuthi umkhulu umsebenzi owenzayo kule ndawo, yebo ngiyabona. It made me realize that God has put me into the situation, not for me to fix the situation, but for the situation to fix me. So it's a very great music. We really appreciate the talent he can make. God bless him.
That's beautiful.
Thank you so
And
much.
You know what, my brother? Just for you.
Mm-hmm.
kanti ububhizi ngaphakathi kwami ngigcwele ubungazi ngomusa wakho nesineke sakho shalom engibheka isenzo sami namaphutha ami ngizizwa ngathi ngikude nawe kuthe mekuphela amandla ami wangibonisa wakhagcwele ngaphakathi kwami ngaphakathi kwami oh yebo yebo ngiyakholwa kulo msebenzi owenzayo yebo ngiyabona yebo ngiyakholwa kulo msebenzi owenzayo
Good morning, sawubona Khaya, sawubona Clement. It's Mam Thembi. Yo, Clement, Khaya. Hayi mina, I was sold weeks before he was actually crowned on Idols. I was sold, I knew this is the real voice. This guy is amazing. I was always mesmerized. But yeah, it's good to witness X number of years later his success, because some winners have unfortunately not prospered for various reasons. I'm really, really happy for him that he's doing so well in all his spheres of life. Challenges and all, he's come up on top. So yeah, okumhlophe mnumzane. I love your voice.
10:31, time for the latest in Eyewitness News headlines. We'll come back with more of your calls and your WhatsApps as we continue to get to know Khaya Mthethwa better. He's on our Hanging Out feature this morning. Sfiso, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. In the headlines, former Police Minister Bheki Cele is in Parliament to face the ad hoc committee investigating police corruption. Cele's testimony comes after his successor Senzo Mchunu's 3-day appearance before the committee. Members of the committee say Cele's evidence will be relevant following a News 24 expose on how he allegedly called accused crime kingpin Vusmuzi Ket Matlala 10 times in one day. 2 more former road accident fund officials have testified about being sidelined and ultimately worked out of their finance jobs when Collins Letswalo was appointed as Chief Executive Officer in 2020. They've told Parliament's inquiry investigating financial mismanagement that he populated his personal office with a number of specialists which took over their jobs. And U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has warned Israel against annexing the West Bank, saying the steps taken by Parliament and settler violence threaten a Gaza peace deal. Israeli lawmakers voted yesterday to advance 2 bills on annexing the occupied West Bank, barely a week after President Donald Trump pushed through a deal aimed at ending a 2-year Israeli offensive in Gaza that was retaliation for a Hamas attack. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 11 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Traveling on the N3 North, bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is due to those roadworks taking place right near the Baku interchange. Delays coming out of Vincent Chabalala Road. So if you're traveling around the Alex area, please try to use Marlborough Drive as well as Vincent Chabalala Road towards areas like Sandton as well as Woodmead. While on the M1 South, we've got a slight backup reported just as you approach the crown turn of an earlier accident there. And then heading towards the city of Tshwane, more roadworks are causing delays along the N1 North before the Brackfontein interchange delays from Samrin Avenue. Speaking of the city of Tshwane, we still have got about an 18-minute delay on the N14 North approaching Old Johannesburg Road coming out of Euphus Road. Please be on the lookout there and drive with care. I'll have more updates. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
Can you confidently say that this wasn't an election campaign tactic?
It wasn't, and it will never be, because we recruited people even after elections. The problem is that our country in a grip of election every 2 years. So whatever that you do, you are damned. If you don't do it, you are damned. And out of the people that you are talking about, that people claim that they are not trained, go in the exhibit book or exhibit offices and check the guns that they've retrieved without them being armed. So this is the kind of work that they've done.
Nyaza Lesufi.
The Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
At the heart of global conversations shaping our future, Africa's voice is more important than ever. As proud lead sponsor of the B20, the Standard Bank Group is honored to showcase the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Because driving Africa's growth isn't just our ambition, it's our purpose. Tune in every Monday from 3 p.m. for the Standard Bank B20 in brief for key insights and updates around the B20. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. Calling all golf pros. Hollywood Bets invites you to step onto the green. Tee up, take a swing, and enjoy glorious golf action from electrifying competitions and thrilling live tournaments. Get ready to conquer the fairway and chase epic fortunes. Ready to master the odds and experience your crowning moment? Bet now on all the excitement and prepare to make your hole-in-one shot to sensational success. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008.
Flight Centre's big red sale is back. 21 October to 14 November. Save up to 50% on tours, 35% on cruises, and massive deals on Thailand, Mauritius, and the Maldives. Even local flights from 1,900 Rand return. Now that's a win. Plus, 2 kids stay and eat free on selected breaks. The world's waiting. The deals are calling. So, get to your nearest Flight Centre store today. T's and C's apply. Flight Centre, your centre for travel.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
25 minutes before 11 o'clock, we're hanging out with Kaya Mthethwa on our Hanging Out feature this morning. And we are also taking your calls. If you want to join this conversation on 011-883-0702, you can send WhatsApps as well on 072-702-1702. Kaya, I got a question from John who says, Clement, please can you ask Kaya if he thinks he's adjusted to the reality of being in the public eye. How does he deal with that? Do you ever get used to being famous?
No.
Yeah?
It's just always like, I think my life is very personal and private. I live a very normal life in my own time and doing my own thing. It's just managing, taking pictures, making people happy. And for that, I can do that all day. I don't mind. You know what I mean? So it's just accommodating people, always knowing that, I can never be too busy. I can never be, on a hurry too much. Someone says, hey, can I please take a picture? It's just
Even
taking that 30 seconds.
like it, just smile.
Even when you don't feel like it, you know what I
Feel like
mean?
a smile.
You don't know. That person, something has happened in their life that is connected to me, and I don't want to taint that image that they have of me during that period where I'm not probably doing so great.
Yeah. Isn't the downside of it, though, that even as private as you are, your things can also be put out in the public?
All the time.
Like, for instance, your divorce was written about. That's a personal thing. So how do you deal with sometimes even failures, quote unquote, if you want to call it that, or weaknesses or some challenges that get plastered now in the newspapers? Now your own personal issues become private just because you are in the public eye.
It's hunkering down. It's having a place of refuge. It's having good friends, good family, because it can get stormy. People can ask you really horrible questions, stuff that will trigger you, stuff that will hurt you, will make you relive certain things. And it's part of the show. It's part of the game. It's part of life. And my go-to point is my family. My go-to point is my friends. It's making sure that, if I'm going through a tough time and going through a tough place, I can pull up the phone. I'm like, yo, this thing really hurt me, and talk through it so that these things, you don't end up responding in a horrible way. You don't end up entertaining those people, because some of them are just genuine, like, just people writing. Some of them are just nasty, you know what I mean? And so there's a temptation to lash back, and having the right people to be like, forget about them. Let's focus in. There's more that's going to happen is so important.
Yeah, that's so important. I've got some more songs that I want to play. Songs that you've picked. Should we go to All My Life or go to Yes God?
All My Life.
All My Life.
Yeah.
Why is the song so special?
Mawelele is one of my favorite artists. I think he's a great songwriter, great producer, and when someone writes good music and it resonates with the whole world, it resonates with the whole country. And of course, as a musician, I'm always inspired. I'm always like, to God, but why didn't you give me this song? You know what I mean? So I'm always like that. So it's one of those songs that just talk about love, talk about, his experiences and him telling this girl that he loves him. And I think it's a beautiful expression of how love can be communicated in a song.
Oh, na, 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 na. Yeah. Angithi mina ngikhethe wena. Yeah. abantu aba-understandi, yeah. Ukuthi mina nawe siyophelela ekufeni. Take my heart, take my soul. I'll die for you, die for you. Yabona abantu aba-understandi, yeah. Ukuthi mina nawe, we were meant for each other, yeah. Wetalibambi isandla sami, hamba nami, siyoqala impilo phesheya. Ngicela ungawali isithando sami, oh sithando sami. Inhliziyo yami ikhethe wena, ikhethe wena. Angithi all my life, all my hours, ngifisa ukumbona nguwe, ngifisa ukumbona nguwe, yeah, ngifisa ukumbona nguwe, ngifisa ukumbona nguwe, nguwe, nguwe. All my life, all my hours, ngifisa ukumbona nguwe, ngifisa ukumbona nguwe.
Bay, nisho bapha abantu obani bona lento engamnawo mangiyibona khululeka sokhuphuka sehle ngeke ukhule wedwa and ukhulu kuseza ya uNkulunkulu mkhulu vele okwethu ukukhuleka kuze kukhuleke size sikhokhobe ngibe umkhulu yeah uzoba ugogo. Okay cool, let's inhliziyo izozima ithinze strupel bazoyithola isagcwele ithi mfi mayishukela usangishubhela ngazivukela wangivusela wazivukela wazincukela isitafu sakho fact yabona abantu aba-understandi,
Yeah. Ukuthi mina nawe, we were meant for each other, yeah. Wetalibambi isandla sami, hamba nami, siyoqala impilo phesheya. Yabona emhlabeni uthando lunjena lutholakali, kodwa ukuthanda wena dala kuyona i-mistake. Ukuthanda nguwe dala, ukuthanda nguwe kumnandi njenge-milkshake. All my life ngosuku lwami lokugcina ngifisa ukumbona nguwe, wedala imamela, imizwa yami ithola ukukhanya, inhliziyo yami ithola ikhaya. Uyisibani sempilo yami, ngicela ungawali isithando sami, oh sithando sami. Inhliziyo yami ikhethe wena, ikhethe wena. Angithi all my life, all my hours, ngifisa ukumbona nguwe, ngifisa ukumbona nguwe.
Good morning, Clement. She's chilling with one of my favorite gospel artists there, Mr. Manyathela. His music played a very vital role in my life. There was once a point where everything was just dark, man. When you're moving and you don't know if you're going forward or you're going backwards or you don't understand the direction of your life. And there's this song, le yokuthi umkhulu umsebenzi owenzayo kule ndawo. Yebo ngiyabona. It made me realize that God has put me into the situation, not for me to fix the situation, but for the situation to fix me. So
Mthethwa. My guy, I have respect for you, eh? I never benganandaba ne-idols growing up. When I saw you on Idols, my guy, you did a super bass better than Nicki Minaj. You did If I Ain't Got You better than Alicia Keys. Yes, sis, you had so much fire in you. Like you were really hungry. I just respected you from there.
Good morning, Clement. I hope my voicemail is in time to say hi to Kaya. Kaya, I've watched you from day one when you won the competition and how you've grown. God is good, son. Keep up the good work and may He bless you and keep shining on you. Thank you for the lovely music. Thanks, Clement.
Ah, that's beautiful. How do you feel when you hear people appreciating your talent, your gift like that? Because it's not just about, oh, you've got a great voice, but actually there are people that have been impacted.
Yeah.
They were facing a situation where there was no return, no light, no door, and yet they found the music and it gave them light.
I guess that's the gift of artistry, you know. We get to express what I feel and it resonates with someone else. You know what I mean? And that's it's amazing. It's an amazing gift to be able to connect with people at that level where they can be encouraged, where they can, feel like they're not alone in that situation where, because if I'm writing about that, it's resonating. I was almost at that similar place. If it's unearthing that kind of emotion, So it's just a blessing to see that, it's not just about me. It's not just because when you're writing the music, when you're not seeing anyone, there's no audience when you're writing that music, and by the time it comes out, you don't know what it's going to do for people. And when you hear positive responses like I'm hearing today and the beautiful messages that I'm getting, it's just encouraging to keep on, because it's not always good. You know, it's not always like I want to keep going, but hearing things like this just makes me like, I need to push on.
This is worth it. I had other questions that came through also on Twitter. Someone wanted to know if you still write love songs.
I still write love songs to God.
To God.
To God.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another person was asking, what do you do for fun?
Ooh, I do a lot of things.
Because the impression is that like pastors or gospel singers, all they do is you're watching TD Jakes the whole day.
Absolutely not. I travel a lot.
Yeah.
So I
love traveling.
I love traveling.
What's your favorite city?
In the world or in the country?
Both. Yeah. Give me the country and give me the world.
I'm sorry, but Durban is amazing. I'm sorry. I know I grew up there. I've traveled a lot of cities.
That's interesting.
Durban is a beautiful city. Around the world, I've been... the most beautiful city I think that I really enjoyed was Singapore. But also if I want
to... Singapore.
Stunning. E-branding, E-mean.
Singapore.
I absolutely love it.
Okay, yeah. They've got wonderful infrastructure.
Absolutely.
Architecture. That's amazing. And then as a young pastor, what do you think are some of the challenges that you face, specifically because of your age? Because there are elders who are older than you.
Yeah.
Who sometimes will think, no, isn't it? How do you manage and deal with that?
There's a big part of wisdom that kicks in.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have to experience something. There's, when someone talks to you, you just hear, because this is what I'm sensing. This is what I'm feeling to speak into this situation. But also, I think I'm 38, I'm 39. I'm turning 40 next year. My goodness, I'm turning 40. So I've been through life, and I've been through ups and downs. Getting it, I've experienced everything. But I think that I'm also around people that have experienced a lot of things, and I learn a lot. So if I sit with you, Clement, and you talk about what you've been through, I take some of that stuff. You know what I mean? And when I'm sitting with someone else, I'm like, yes, Clement once. Well, I might not mention your name. It comes up. I'm like, I've had a discussion like this, and I feel like this is the best way to kind of advise this situation. And sometimes it's also easier to just say angas.
Yes.
Yes, Gululu angas.
Yeah, angas.
Angas.
Yeah. I like that. It's 12 minutes before 11 o'clock. We'll come back and continue and wrap up our conversation with Khaya Mthethwa.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
I raised the issue of amapanyaza, the people who were victims of their assaults, as they supposedly were doing policing work. If that turns out to be illegal, what happens to all those victims? And now the Premier just tells us, no, there's a provincial unit to which they'll be absorbed. The Justice Department wouldn't sanction this. This whole let's turn them into traffic officers was a retrofit, because even from the get-go, he was told this is illegal.
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
You are not dreaming. You are repeating. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited. a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Change arrives kicking and screaming. It's challenging, impatient, confusing. Change is a moment of peace. Change is life-affirming. Change is growth. Change is opportunity. We've always believed it's worth investing in. For over 3 decades, we have been committed to seeking out the best investment opportunities for you, wherever they may be. 91. Investing for a world of change. 91 is an authorized FSP.
The South African Future Trust Summit is back and bolder than ever. This year, Standard Bank joins as headline sponsor, underscoring the summit's role as South Africa's leading platform for entrepreneurship. On 5 and 6 November at the Sandton Convention Center, connect with leading entrepreneurs, investors, and change makers. This is where bold ideas meet transformative investment. Get your tickets now at summits.southafricanfuturetrust.org in partnership with 702.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
10 minutes before 11 o'clock. Let's go to some WhatsApps.
Morning, Clement. Clement, you know what? My wife was the one who introduced me to that guy, to the music of him. That his music is beautiful. So I fell in love with his music. But my problem is one. My wife, she's obsessed with that guy. So I don't love the guy. I love only his music. Thank you very much.
You don't like the guy, but you like his music.
Thula moya wam, bekezela inhliziyo yam, gcina moya wam, ngithi akozeli akalali. That's my favorite song, like my Get Up and Go song, and Mkhulu Msebenzi wakho. This song resonates so much with a friend of mine who literally walked down the aisle with that song, and every word explains it. Kaya Mteja, may God richly bless you now and always. We love you and love the works of your hands. Amen.
Hey, hello, Mr. Clement. How are you guys? How are you, Mr. Kayalapo? When I saw you once, I think it was once, I'm not sure, was it Makufe? I can't remember. Manje, I'm thinking to myself here with my wife. I'm also a musician, but you know, South African musicians, we are bedroom musicians. So I've got a little studio that I've got in my house, and then once in a while we just program and do a few vocals here and then. And Manje, you killed me when you said you don't listen to yourself. We also don't do that. Who listens to himself? Hey, you know when you said that, we just died and crumbled, my wife and I. My man, you're a beautiful musician. We wish you all the best. Thank you. Justice from Alex.
That's fascinating. Before we wrap up, I do want us to play Settle for Less.
Sure.
For different reasons. One, there is one listener who asked for it, but two, I'm also selfish because it's my favorite song.
Really?
Yeah. And I can abuse the power I have right
Go
now.
for it.
Settle for less. We know there's more that's found in you, and we will never settle for less. We know there's more that's found in you. Tell the Lord today. We will never settle for less. We know there's more that's found in you, and we will never settle for less. We know there's more that's found in you.
This is our cry, God.
And we will never settle for less. We know there's more that's found in you.
We will never settle for less.
We'll never settle for less.
'Cause we know there is more
that's found in you.
It's found in you.
Come on, everybody say it. We'll never settle for less.
We know there's more that's found in you.
All of creation waited for the manifestation of the sons of God.
We know there's more that's found in you.
It's time that we find ourselves in you.
We'll never settle.
We will not settle for sickness and disease. We will not settle for pain, oh God. We will never settle for less.
We'll never settle.
We will not settle for a broken heart. We will not settle for depression. Cause it's in you, Lord. It's in you, Lord. We know there's more that's found in you. We all know there's more that's found in
You oza ngesoprano la. Okay, like this it is soprano and the tenor alto. Soprano, alto, tenor. Please, can you sing this at the Big Top Arena?
I will.
Can you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Will you be there?
I will be there. I'll scream from the
All
crowd
right.
and say, yes,
promise
he
you
did.
at the Big Top we will be singing.
Yeah,
definitely.
tell me about that. So it's the Art of Worship. This is the second installment, eh?
Yes, Art and Worship 2, and it's just it's what's in my heart to bring worship, to bring the artistry of worship out. You know what I mean? Like, we're in an age of digital media, young people, there's a lot of happening. So for us to really bring them into the place of worship, our things need to be artistic. And so we want to bring a gathering. We've got incredible songs that we've put together, incredible. It's new music, but I'll also be doing a lot of throwback stuff as well on that show. And I'm excited. One of the things also that excites me about the show is that we're going to be doing a collaboration with the blind community as well. So the entire show will be signed live on screen. So it's just... it's something that has been in our hearts to do, and because we've got a lot of people that are like, oh, we love you, we want to experience the stuff, and how can you accommodate? And so we've created that platform as well. So I'm excited that there's a lot that's going to go in creatively to make sure that show is a success.
Look, I'm looking forward to it. Go get your tickets. It's on the 15th of November.
15th of November. Web tickets is selling right now from 350 Rand per ticket. And we're looking forward to the 15th.
Yeah, go check it out, chaps, and I will see you there. Kaya, thank you so much for coming through, man. Thank you for making time, and thank you for the work that you do, your music that speaks to our hearts. And having spoken to you, now we understand why it speaks to our hearts, is because it comes from your heart. So thank you for your artistry.
Thank you for being the voice of this nation, for holding our leaders accountable.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking the hard questions. We really appreciate it. We know that our country is in safe hands with journalists like you, with people that are on the radio like you, and we really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, bong, I'm fit. I look forward to that collaboration. That's 2 minutes before 11.
The future of mobility is here, and it's powered by clean energy. Join business leaders, policymakers, and innovators at the NEV Summit 2025, taking place on 22 and 23 October. Together, we're driving Africa's green industrial revolution, building new industries, creating jobs, and positioning Gauteng as the hub of sustainable mobility. Visit evsummit2025.co.za to learn more. The NEV Summit 2025, driving Gauteng towards a green automotive economy.
Looking for your next big business deal? Make the smart move and switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. You could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium for plumbing, electrical, tradesmen services, and other industries. Outsurance Business Insurance are trusted experts in insuring your business. Get more out of your business insurance. Get a quick and easy quote today. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
Ha, guys, you must know your till slip is gonna get even longer. That new Discount Better Rewards card gets you 10% off instantly. Hey, but now, on top of that discount, you get an extra 5% off on over 140 brands. You just hand in your script or shop from the pharmacy. With 15% off instantly at the till. Your discount till slip never looked better. How nice, man.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Former Police Minister Clement says he was disturbed when he saw media reports claiming he was not willing to cooperate with the Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating police corruption. Clement is currently giving evidence on the first day of his testimony before the ad hoc committee. His testimony is expected to focus on organised crime syndicates, the failure of organs of state, his own experience with MPs, as well as allegations regarding classified information. Clement has told the committee he's always wanted to work with the parliamentary inquiry, and at no stage did he snub the committee and its evidence leaders. He says he even paid for his own travels to attend consultations with the evidence leaders in Cape Town.
No, thanks for that. I was a little bit disturbed when the media said I'm not cooperating, especially one of the KZN paper had a big headline that snubs the ad hoc. I've never done that. Even the first cooperation, I came here with my own financial steam, buying my own ticket, my everything, but I still came here for consultation. Thanks.
In Pretoria, details of the well-orchestrated murder of Vereniging engineer Armand Swart have been placed on record before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Yesterday, Witness B, the investigating officer in the Swart murder case, testified partially in camera before the commission. Due to threats against the investigating team, Witness B's voice was broadcast live with her face not revealed to conceal her identity. She detailed how those arrested in connection with Swart's murder had been monitoring the father of two's movements 5 days before he was killed. She says this was after his company Q-Tech blew the whistle on massive price inflation related to a Transnet freight rail contract.
This kind of murder, it was not just a hit and run one, it was well prepared.
Witness B has resumed her testimony this morning before the commission, and she will explain how the accused followed Swart for days.
From the 12th, there was a scouting. The 13th, there was a scouting. The 14th, there was a scouting. The 15th, there was a scouting. The 16th, there was a scouting. Subsequently, Armand was killed on the 17th.
Two more former road accident fund officials have testified about being sidelined and ultimately worked out of their finance jobs when Collins Litswalo was appointed as the chief executive officer in 2020. They've told Parliament's inquiry investigating financial mismanagement that he populated his personal office with a number of specialists which took over their jobs. The pair believe that by disagreeing with the switch to an unsanctioned accounting standards that reduce the fund's liability eventually cost them their jobs. Lindsay Dentlinker reports.
The one-time acting chief financial officer Victor Songelwa told the committee that Collins Letswalo decided to restructure the organisation when he was appointed in 2020. Songelwa said a parallel structure of at least 8 specialists was appointed in the CEO's office that took over the jobs of general managers who were eventually pushed out.
I was removed from the position of acting CFO, and one of the specialists, senior specialist finance, was made as an acting CFO. So indeed, this had an impact in the functions.
Senior actuarial manager Itai Charakupa testified about the appointment of an investment officer in Letswalo's office, which in his view was not needed, given that the fund is not expected to invest.
The acting chief investment officer at that time indicated that he didn't need the actual evaluation reports.
Charakupa says he was eventually dismissed by the investment officer following disagreement over the value of claims. Lindsay Dentinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has warned Israel against annexing the West Bank, saying steps taken by Parliament and settler violence threaten a Gaza peace deal. Israeli lawmakers voted yesterday to advance 2 bills on annexing the occupied West Bank, barely a week after President Donald Trump pushed through a deal aimed at ending a 2-year Israeli offensive in the Gaza Strip that was retaliation for a Hamas attack. The United States is the primary military and diplomatic supporter of Israel, and Rubio, until recently, had steered clear of criticizing annexation moves championed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's far-right allies. Rubio was asked about increased violence by extremist Israeli settlers against Palestinians in the West Bank. He says the U.S. is concerned about anything that threatens to destabilize the current truce.
It's a vote in the Knesset, but obviously I think the president's made clear that's not something we'd be supportive of right now, and we think there's potential even threatening to the peace deal. So they're a democracy, they're going to have their votes, people are going to take these positions, but at this time it's something that we think it might be counterproductive.
Gold is trading at $4,090.94 an ounce. The rand is at 17.44 to the dollar, 23.26 to the pound, 20.22 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $64.27 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got heavy delays on the N14 North. That's between Euphues Road and Old Johannesburg Road. Please be on the lookout there. There's also queuing traffic reported along the N3 North between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu interchange.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 27 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Former Police Minister Clement says he was disturbed when he saw media reports claiming he was not willing to cooperate with the Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating police corruption.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
Seven minutes after 11 o'clock. Dumelang, Sanbonani. Welcome to the third and final hour of the Clement Manyathela Show. Thank you so much for staying with us here on 702. Becky Kele is at the parliamentary inquiry. They're leading his evidence, and I promised that on our Thursday dialogue today, we're going to take you live to the parliamentary inquiry, because this is one person, in fact, this is one senior government official who was in cabinet, who has been implicated more than even Senzo Mkhuni in as far as the benefits from these businessmen are concerned. And I really want us to hear how he's going to be defending himself and responding to some tough questions from the evidence leader, but also members of parliament. So let's take you straight to the ad hoc committee in parliament, where Becky Kele is on the podium.
You'll find the new, who bring them? And those cellular, they don't walk there. That here we are, phone. Somebody brings them there. And who is that? You see, we are phoned from prison. This guy phones me. He doesn't tell the name. He says, Ted, Ndos, he called me Ndos. Phone from somewhere in Escort. There are 3 people that are ready to go and kill Nkosi at Ulundi. They are having 3 AKs. They are in this lodge. He called by name. I phoned Mkhwanazi. I say, Mkhwanazi, there is this thing. This guy refuses to tell you. Mkhwanazi goes there, he finds exactly that. He finds exactly that. 3 AKs, 5 of these guys there, ready to go and kill Nkosi. There was an exchange of fire. Some of those guys died. He finds exactly that. This information comes from prison.
Okay, General, I'm sure you can give other examples, but you seem to confirm General Mkhwanazi's statement in that regard, that the correctional services is also infiltrated. And we know that from the now pretty notorious case of Thabo Bester, where you organize your own escape and you leave a body in your cell. But let's move on from there. Let's talk about the when you were appointed minister in 2018, and then the establishment of the interministerial committee?
Chairperson, there has been a problem in KZN of political violence en masse, but after elections, it was some sort of organized kind of, and then the people were dying, especially at the level of local leadership, politically, and also the councillors. I've listened to say that it was more of the ANC councillors. No, it's across the board. Quite several of the NFP, ANC, IFP, even the AFF, DA, as we speak now, we're dealing with it. Those that are dealing with it, I left when they were dealing with it at Mpofana. The councillor that killed the family stood outside and burned the whole family and said that his house has been burned. And I'm sure that guy didn't know that there's something called forensic. And the forensic discovered that he has done it, he has been sentenced and all that. It's happening. So, President visited the murder scene of Kashana Mngunu, was a on the ministers of, I guess, were 4 ministries. That was police, defense, justice, this was together with the correctional service, and state security. So he says the ministers of these ministries, for me, interministerial is made by ministries rather than ministers. That's my understanding. That interministerial is made by ministries. Why so? Because those ministers immediately went to KZN. Was a minister of police, Cele, was a minister of justice, Masuta, was a minister of state security, Duba, the term was a minister of defense, Mapisa Ngagula. And then when the elections came, and then there was a minister of police, and there was a minister of justice who's not Masuta now, but Lamula. There was a minister later, Mdise, and there was initially there was only a deputy minister when it comes to state security, which was Zizugotwa, and later Nchabeni came on board. So they continued with the interministerial because these ministries were there. So interministers is ministers that move, but ministries, they stay there, and whoever is there continues. That's how I understand.
So what was the mandate of the interministerial committee?
The mandate was to go to KZN, specifically, sort the political violence, the matters that were taking place there, which were quite bad. Almost every week, a political figure was dying there. So, was to go there and sort that thing, investigate, arrest, prevent, and stabilize the province. So when we went there, there was a committee, or there was some sort of a team that was provincially working there, led by General Kiliza, and then there will be Brigadier Makashalala, who is here in Western Cape now. There would be Chiga, who was the head of intelligence in KZN. We sat there as this interministerial. We were given the report. We all agreed, without taking it further, that there is a zero work on this death that is happening here. So we had then, according to the interministerial, try to start something better. So different ministers had to work on their departments. I remember that there was a big meeting of officials that was called. I can't remember, but Dr. Kulube was in defense, were there. I think the DG of Justice were there. The DG, National Commission or Provincial Commission of Correctional Service were there. Those officials, they had to go and hash the plan and report to the interministerial. How are they going to do what the interministerial, under instruction of the president, had to do?
So it was a multidisciplinary team that was going to be established.
Indeed,
from different departments.
Exactly so, exactly so. But most prominently would have been the police and prosecutors, because prosecutors had to direct the investigations. But one department that is not mentioned now and again that played a prominent role was correctional service. Why correctional service? Because people arrested, they still gave direction from prisons who to eliminate and all that. The only cutoff was to take people to Kokstad, so which is a prison where you can't communicate with anybody. So the Minister of Correctional Service had to make the way and open that most of people that are arrested under this killing must be taken there. The other thing that was requested there, these cases were delaying. So was if we could get the special courts to deal with them so that they're gone through and then people are arrested and all that. So these departments were really working together from the ministers to the top officials and down to the real team that was working down there.
General, can I just refresh your memory? Can you go to Annexure BC2, which is on page 11. It's an annexure.
Annexure
BC2 on page 11.
BC2.
You got it?
I'm actually the annexure. Oh, okay.
You see, those are described as speaker notes by the Minister of Police, Becky Cele, political killings, and it is dated the 3rd of, is that August? The 3rd of August, 2018. Do you want to run through that? Because this would have been immediately or shortly after, no, not immediately, shortly after the establishment of the task team. So you'll see a number of very relevant aspects of the Interministerial Committee dealt with there, to refresh your memory.
Yes, I do see. And as you read down that, the team comprises of 126 members led by Acting Provincial Commissioner Lieutenant Mkwanazi and Brigadier Ngwenya and Khumalo. The National Prosecuting Authority has also dedicated 16 experienced, seasoned prosecutors. So from there on, the team kicked in as the interministerial or multidisciplinary approach. So others would follow, like courts, but this one immediately kicked in.
And at the and subsequent to this, the Mkwanazi and Khumalo, they would report on a 2-yearly base, or they would report to the Interministerial Committee twice a year on progress or on what they were doing, and you would then hold a press conference, the IMC, and you were because you're the the key person involved as Minister of Police, you would then address the media based on the reports you were getting from the political killings task team?
Well, there were several of these briefings. People responsible were invited to go down.
If you're there, you can see. I'm referring to. Go to page 16, also of the annexures.
Page 16.
Annexure BC3 starts on page 15, and you can. There's a summary of the media briefings.
Yes.
And your statements on page 16, 21 May 2018, 3 August 2018, that's the one you've just referred to, 13 September 2018, March 2019, June 2021, February 2022, 6 September 2023, and I think your last press briefing was in March. It's not here, but in March 2024, that was the last press briefing.
Well, initially, these briefings were intense because of the work starting, but as the work happens, they become a bit slowly. But the members of the IMC will go and be briefed. Mostly will be briefed by the officials of the departments, having been briefed by the task team. There will be members of the task team, especially the higher echelons like Kumalo, like Gwenya, like Mkwanas, and all that, and those that would have been invited, and the prosecutors and the people from correctional service. I remember that Nele would be there. So that's how it would happen, and then there would be a media briefing. The media briefing, most of the time, it would not be sitting alone. There would be other members of the task team sitting there and giving update of what has happened with the task team going down, and that last meeting would be the 5th of September 2023. But that was not the last activity. The team itself was invited, the PKTT. I saw some N on it now. I'm not sure about it. So
Minister Nkunu put the N there.
Okay.
So that's the former police minister, Bheki Cele. Let's take a quick ad break. When we come back, we'll take you live back to Parliament.
John Perlman. Weekday afternoons,
3 to
The city
6.
of Joburg is a difficult place to run at the best of times. You and your team and we as the citizens are trying to get that done without a city manager. What's delaying this all-important appointment?
The process has been finalized, then the report should be presented in our special council tomorrow.
Why has it taken so long?
Well, the process of city manager takes at least about 3 months because of the nature of the things that are involved in that process.
The executive mayor of Johannesburg, Dada.
John Perlman.
3 to 6 on 702.
KwaZulu-Natal is South Africa's fastest growing business tourism hub, and the numbers prove it. Since 2020, business events have injected 1.8 billion rand into the province. MICE, which is the meetings, incentives, conferences and exhibitions, is driving inclusive growth, reaching even rural and township communities. With strong public-private partnerships, Africa's Travel Indaba, secured through 2030, and Durban's ICC, now a World Trade Center, KZN is building momentum. It's not just hosting events, it's where Africa meets to do business.
At this time of year, there's lots to celebrate, and a braai is such a great way to do that. Pesto Princess has fresh chimichurri sauce for your steak and boerie, basil pesto for your braai broodjies, and hummus to snack on. You'll find it all at Spar, Checkers and Pick n Pay, or visit pesto.co.za. Pesto Princess is celebrating too, 25 years in business. I'm the founder, Kathleen, and I want to thank you for choosing our fresh products for your family gatherings.
After a short migration, the family arrives at the premier resort, rich in food, drink, and entertainment. The young, freed from classroom captivity, head straight for Kids Club and the safety of the herd. The adult male meanders to the scuba centre, while the matriarch basks by the pool.
Book your resort escape to Knysna, East London, Scottborough or Sunny Pass at premierhotels.co.za.
The milk steamer was loud. So loud that Lungi heard hot milk instead of oat milk. It was bad. So bad. The milk didn't really sit right with the lactose intolerant customer. It was bad. So bad. Too bad they didn't have Yoko counter. With Yoko printer, orders flow straight to the barista. So good. Yoko counter. Super simple POS and payments in one. No contracts, no hidden costs.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Isaac Oortendal is the Chief Investment Strategist at Symmetry. Isaac, do you believe what we're seeing now in AI stocks is some of the hallmarks, at least, of a bubble?
Of course, we don't know yet if the profitability is in AI. So Microsoft is profitable in its cloud and its enterprise software, and Amazon, we know what Amazon does, we know what Google does, we know what Meta does. But is that artificial intelligence component of what they're doing generating enough profits to justify the investment?
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes is brought to you by ABSA Corporate and Investment Banking, proud sponsor of the ABSA Africa Financial Markets Index 2025. The insights to guide you through Africa's financial landscapes are waiting for you. ABSA is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
The Dialogue with Clement Manyathela.
It's not just another roundtable discussion.
Let's walk the talk on 702.
26 minutes after 11 o'clock. Becky Cele, the former police minister, is still being asked questions around the political killing task team when he was police minister and who formed part of the interministerial committee. Let's take you back to Parliament.
Briefing eventually took place on the 6th, 2023. Obvious. For the final resolution was that the PKTT could not dissolve and that it must continue. That is the 5th September 2023 decision taken by the interministerial.
Okay. So, what is your response to Minister Mchunu saying that the PKTT was disestablished?
By who?
Already since 2022.
Disestablished by who?
Well, it's not quite clear what he's saying, who said so. I think we have asked him, I think honourable members of the committee asked him, and that it's an illegal structure.
The President instructs the ministries. The ministers go there. The ministers call their relevant top officials of the department to bring all components together. They come together. The team is formed. The team starts the work. And we'll agree, maybe you are not going on details of the success and all that. It continues up to the end of the 5th administration. Comes the 6th administration, it continues. And these interministerials, these ministers, the new under the ministries, they are there. And it goes for election 2024. This is there. I don't remember anywhere as the chair and those that we're working with talking about dismantling this team at all. What I would also remember is that I guess, if I'm not mistaken, on the 7th of March 2024, the same team went to brief the president about the activities that they were doing in Fort Hare, since it was requested by the president to look at the matters of how it came about on that one. So this is now March 2024. We're going for election March, May. So this team is still active. I don't remember anywhere as a person that was almost involved at all in the understanding of activities. I don't remember the team being disbanded until I saw the letter that was written on the 21st December.
The 31st of December.
31st of December, when we're drinking and dancing.
Now, your view is captured at paragraph 49 on page 18.
Paragraph 49.
Yeah, on page 18 of your statement.
Okay.
All right, while they look for that, let's get the latest in Eyewitness News headlines. It's 11:30. Bali, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. Former Police Minister Bheki Cele says he was disturbed when he saw media reports claiming he was not willing to cooperate with Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating police corruption. Cele is currently giving evidence on the first day of his testimony before that committee. His testimony is expected to focus on organised crime syndicates, his own experience with MPs, as well as allegations regarding classified information. A selection panel established to find a new city manager for Johannesburg has recommended the reappointment of Floyd Brink. Out of 10 shortlisted candidates interviewed for that role, Brink emerged as the panel's top choice. He has, however, been removed from the position twice in the past 2 years, following court rulings that both his 2023 appointment and his subsequent reappointment were unlawful. And the Zitobeni Community Policing Forum in Bronkhorstspruit say the gunman who shot patrons at a tavern had an intention to kill. One of the suspects arrested earlier this week is expected to make his first court appearance today. He faces charges including 5 counts of murder and 6 counts of attempted murder. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at midday or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
The EWN Traffic is brought to you by cars.co.za. Let's find what moves you. Amo?
Well, Clement, we still have got delays on the N3 North between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu interchange. Roadworks are causing those delays. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between Van Buren Road and the Giluli's interchange. While heading towards the Joburg CBD, queuing traffic on the M1 South. This is between Carr Street and the Crown interchange. That's due to roadworks there. Please be on the lookout for men and women working the road. That's your last update from me, Amo Ramela. Otherwise, Karabujale will have your next traffic update from the top of the hour onwards. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
8 out of 10 radio listeners suffer from CAR, or car advertising on repeat. Symptoms include fatigue, anxiety, and confusion. With so many car ads coming at you on your daily commute, buying or selling a car can feel overwhelming. But there is a cure.
Cars.co.za. Whatever car you want to buy or sell, cut through the and just go to cars.co.za and let's find what moves you. Cars.co.za.
The future of mobility is here, and it's powered by clean energy. Join business leaders, policymakers, and innovators at the NEV Summit 2025, taking place on 22 and 23 October. Together, we're driving Africa's green industrial revolution, building new industries, creating jobs, and positioning Gauteng as the hub of sustainable mobility. Visit evsummit2025.co.za to learn more. The NEV Summit 2025, driving Gauteng towards a green automotive economy.
Welcome to the brand new days.
Sail the world with Norwegian Cruise Line, with more to see, more to do, and more to enjoy. Plus, upgrade your holiday with NCL's More at Sea for premium beverages, specialty dining, and much more. Think international cruising. Think NCL. For the best deals available, visit ncl.com or contact your travel agent. Restrictions apply.
Welcome to the brand new days.
Think radio is out of reach? Think again. With Prime Media Credit, you can get your brand on 947, 702, KFM 94.5 and Cape Talk now and pay later. Flexible finance, big impact. Email advertise@primemedia.co.za. Prime Media Credit, powered by Bridgement.
To celebrate 25 years of helping you live the Premier life, FNB Premier is giving you a chance to win a 14-day European tour experience and other cool monthly prizes. Open any FNB Premier account from September to 31 December 2025. Switch your salary, swipe or tap a minimum of 2,000 Rand per month for 3 months straight. Spend and win with FNB Premier. FNB, help changes everything. TCs and competition rules apply. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
In a world shaped by those who build, disrupt, and reimagine, there comes a gathering not just of minds, but of futures. The South African Future Trust Summit, in partnership with Standard Bank, is where top entrepreneurs, innovators, and change makers converge. It's where the future of enterprise is redefined. On 5 and 6 November, you could be there. Stand a chance to win tickets to the South African Future Trust Summit on 702. WhatsApp the keyword SAFT with your name and ID number, telling us how you would benefit from attending the summit to 072-702-1702. Then catch 702 Drive with John Perlman to find out if you're a winner. The South African Future Trust Summit, in partnership with Standard Bank. Your summit, your way, on 702. TCs and more on primemediaplus.com.
The Dialogue with Clement Manyathela.
It's not just another roundtable discussion.
Let's walk the talk on 702.
24 minutes before 12 o'clock, we take you back now to the parliamentary inquiry where Senzo Mkhunu, Becky Cele, the former police minister, is on the hot seat.
There are people that they correspond with. There is hashtag Minister of Police. There is hashtag Adams, I think is a member of parliament. There was a hashtag chair of portfolio committee. I don't know if he's still there, but he was also corresponding very closely with Machel. So this Machel, so you get these things, but because I don't write, I don't say anything and all that, I don't think they are aware that I'm there and reading these things. Some of them are big about me personally, that how criminal I am. So, but I don't ask anybody. I sit and I look how criminal I am. So keep quiet. But Bashir, you know, we'll come to that letter that was written by Meriti Haas, writing National Commissioner on the 22nd of January, asking him, why have you not implemented the instruction of the minister? This is Diaz writing National Commissioner. And that letter, I think it was 12 hours, that it was also on Machel. But Machel is quite big. So I received these things from Machel. I hope they won't disestablish me now out of...
Not immediately anyway.
Because it provides a good information, what's the thinking about this hashtag minister, him, and they also pray and all this. Sometimes they speak a lot of Sotho, so then I'll have a problem. But when they speak English and all that. So when I saw this letter, I said, but this can't be. This can't be. There are three elements there, which is a border issues, no much discussions. One can come on that if it needs be. There is a crime intelligence. We should no discussions much about it. One can come on that, it can be. The real one that has taken the center stage is a PKTT. So when I looked at the letter, I said, but this can't be. The letter opens 3 political task giving. The first word is in 2019, which is wrong. In 2019, that is wrong. A directive was made to the National Commission of Police following Morano Commission. That is wrong. There is no direction made to the national. The direction was made to the interministerial. that then invited other people. And it was not after Morane, it was after the president has made an announcement in Maritzburg. Later he came to Parliament, but earlier has made that standing on a white hippo, saying these ministries must go there. So this Morane can't be correct. Then they say it's flowing from there. The interministerial task force be established, and it's not the force, it's the interministerial committee. The key mandate was correct: stop, investigate, resolve unresolved matters, which is a stabilization of the situation. That one is correct. My observation in this regard, which should not be the individual observation, it should be the observation of the committee, I guess. Is that further existence of this team is no longer required, nor is it adding any value of policing in South Africa. I therefore direct that the political task team be disestablished immediately. Further, that a preliminary report in this regard be submitted to the minister by the 20th. Observing it, if it were me, I would have said, give me the report on the 20th of this task team. And armed with the report, then I would know what decision I'm taking. But to dismantle and want the report, what is the report for now? Because the decision is taken. But it goes on to say, this is 20th of January. The final and closing report must be submitted to the Ministry Management Executive Committee meeting in January 2025, the date of which will be communicated as soon as possible. It does look like there is an issue with this January. Well, the letter is written few hours before January. Yes, it's December, but it's 5. We are just to come to January. The letter is written, and then give report 20th January. I don't know if the letter did come, the report, but 22nd of January, Mary Diaz writes the letter to the National Commissioner, and moves, asking him,
sorry.
Have you done
General,
what...
Sorry, Honourable Chair, can I just point out to honourable members that there is a small... Sorry, there's a little bundle with 2 documents attached. The Mary Diaz letter of 22 January 2025, page 1 to 2, and then there's an article on political killings, political interference, which is written by a Christine, but quotes extensively Professor De Haas. Have you got that, General? That's the letter you're referring to.
Yes, I do have that letter. I do have that letter. National Commissioner Self Lieutenant General Masimula pre-email good. That is 22nd January 2025. The headline says, your failure to follow ministerial instruction and disband the political killing team is impacting negatively on the crucial policing work in KwaZulu-Natal. So that is a letter which I think paragraph 3 says, according to a report I have just received, I don't know you received this report from who, Mary Diaz, from concerned police or from concerned members, detectives in KZN cannot take exhibits to Pretoria Laboratory because there are no funds to travel, the funds allegedly having been diverted to the political killing team, leaving crucial evidence, e.g. drugs, firearm, DNA, and cell phones in the province contaminated. 4. In other words, If these allegations are true, the Provincial Commission KZN is complicit in ignoring instructions given by the Minister and obstructing regular policing activities in KwaZulu-Natal. Please investigate and report to the Minister and Parliament immediately. Immediately.
So you were saying you were somehow suggesting that there's a whole confluence, a whole getting together of factors in January 2025, immediately, shortly after the directive of 31 December 2025, which you found quite...
It does look like there was something about January. Yeah. I don't know what is it. But my take with all this process, Chairperson, it starts with Mary writing the letter on October. And I found some similarities of the content of the letter, because this immediately is also there in that letter.
That letter is on pages 51 through to 58.
That is October. So then there is a discussion of a certain stain on his written opinion piece, if it is opinion piece. Very excited to say the minister or the professor has instructed the national commissioner to disband. And 31st January happens, 31st December happens. And January, Mary, who wrote in October, comes back now, not to the minister now, to the national commissioner. The report must come on the 20th. Mary is very close to understanding whether the report has come on the 20th. But 22nd, we are bad. She's asking if that has been done. So it's my take, my genesis of my problem with this is Mary having played quite a big role. I must admit, the Kwana's allegation at the later stage of cartels and all that, I don't understand that much until I hear from Kwanas and what is happening. But my take is that I've seen Mary driving this process of disestablishment of this. I don't know what is her interest. Maybe it does link with the later one. I don't know. So people can check. But also, I find that January has something to do with the disestablishment.
All right, so that's Pekikele. What he's doing there is bearing Senzo Mkhunu, which is so interesting because you can tell from the beginning when he started, he's, of course, questioning, and rightly so, because, I mean, anybody else has questioned why Senzo Mkhunu decided to disband the political killing starts team before he even got a progress report. What did you base that decision on? And if it's based on a complaint from Mary de Gaas, really? So one person complains and then you take a decision without even looking at a report and asking to get a progress report on the work of the PKTT. So Bekikele throughout this morning has been trying to bury Senzo Mkhunu, to question the decision he's taken. Now he's suggesting that maybe the decision Senzo Mkhunu took, or how Mary de Gaas acted, has got something to do with the allegations of drug cartels that Mkhwanazi has made. So far, Bekikele really trying to show members of parliament that Senzo Mkhunu was wrong to disband the political killing stars team. But parliament is still going to get to his own issues, where he's been implicated and directly linked to these criminals that are in prison. It's 11 minutes before 12 o'clock. We'll take you back there after the break.
In fitness, as in finance, endurance is key. If you're 55 and older, you can get an interest rate of up to 10.47% with a Nedbank Electronic Optimum Plus account. Now feel the earn. Invest in under 2 minutes on the Money app and get money fit with Nedbank. See money differently. Nedbank. We're licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. For more info, visit nedbank.co.za.
Calling all golf pros. Hollywood Bets invites you to step onto the green. Tee up, take a swing, and enjoy glorious golf action from electrifying competitions and thrilling live tournaments. Get ready to conquer the fairway and chase epic fortunes. Ready to master the odds and experience your crowning moment? Bet now on all the excitement and prepare to make your hole-in-one shot to sensational success. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008.
Okay, truck 7 has zero warning lights, struck 8, it's just been serviced. I guess we're running like a well-oiled machine. Where would I be without My Way's comprehensive cover for my vans and trucks? Plus, cover for my customers' orders with goods and transit insurance. I guess we'll never know.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
The Dialogue with Clement Manyathela.
It's not just another roundtable discussion.
Let's walk the talk on 702.
9 minutes before 12 o'clock. Let's go back to Parliament.
At page 66, the second paragraph, the first few lines, where she says that questions about the structure and command of the team have never been answered.
Yes, I just
And then she refers to you. She says, when soon after it started operating, questions were posed to team members about who was in charge. The response was that it was then Minister Cele. When the Police Portfolio Committee was asked about it, the late Jumat Peterson claimed not to know about what was happening. However, she agreed that the minister should not be operational. Despite ongoing complaints, no interventions to remedy matters followed. When the team was initially established, a detective was in charge, but even at that stage, members were coming and going. When the detective retired, then Brigadier Khumalo was put in charge by Cele.
Well, I met Khumalo when the team was established.
2018.
2018. I didn't know him before that. He's one. He was a brigadier. Very few. I think Mkwanas was a brigadier, and among the brigadiers, I would know him and maybe those that were in communication. But brigadiers are quite far to know them all. So Khumalo, I didn't know him. That's the first one. The second one, SC. Ministers of police are just unlucky. They appoint nobody. They appoint nobody. Even the national commissioners, they don't appoint them. The president does. And then the commissioners appoint the structure as per the constitution of command and control. So there is no minister. If I have any...
we discussed this, but in terms of the Police Act, the minister appoints the head of the Hawks.
Yeah, that's the only person, but according to the law.
Appointments
is the only person that you appoint, yes. So that the Hawks. But when it comes to the South African Police Service and all that, that is... so Cele could not then have been appointed Khumalo. Even if Cele wanted to appoint Khumalo, had to explain to the rest of the ministers that were part of the interministerial. What is this? So the issue of Khumalo, knowing him, whether it's investigator, whether it's in crime situation or crime intelligence, really I wouldn't know. This is a researcher talking. So she can't just research that ministers don't appoint an accomplished researcher. She can't research that and know that ministers don't appoint when it comes to police. So the chairperson, there is even the issue of DTGs. I explained who Lieutenant Generals are. They are DTGs. In government, DTGs are appointed by cabinet. So DTGs, you motivate, you interview, and you submit to cabinet, and the cabinet agrees or disagrees, but not with the police. The commissioner announces in the morning that you are now Lieutenant Colonel. So you are Lieutenant General. And I think when I was a national commissioner and became the minister, I raised it to say I find it far-reaching that a single person can appoint a DTG. DTG is very senior. So if he's appointed by you alone, really he will save his job by respecting you and not doing his job. I think it's even unfair to the DTGs to be appointed in that simplest way and all that kind of thing. Maybe it is on that score that my predecessor, Sambalula, came with the regulations that commissioner can appoint at the level from Major General in concurrence with the ministers. So that came because there would be many generals around here that you don't know when they came about and all that. But this concurrence does not then stop the commissioner, which is his constitutional and legislative prerogative, to continue and do it. So, fairly coming to appointing Khumalo when he can't even appoint Masimula, a researcher must know that, especially if it is an accomplished
She claims
researcher.
that you appointed Khumalo also as the head of SAP's crime intelligence in 2022. And she questions how he could be the head of intelligence, crime intelligence, and also the head of the task team.
As I've said, that maybe that could be answered by a person who appoints those people, which happens to be a national commissioner.
So that's Bheki Cele there. You'll hear more from his testimony throughout the day here on 702. It's 3 minutes before 12.
Are you ready to be inspired and grow your business? The South African Future Trust Summits, in partnership with Standard Bank and 702, returns to the Sandton Convention Centre on 5 and 6 November. Gain insights from international and local speakers, connect with entrepreneurs and investors, and come and pitch your business idea or come and buy a business in a box. Tickets are limited and selling fast. Grab yours now at summit.southafricanfuturetrust.org.
Running a business is tough. You need tools that just work. That's why more South African businesses are switching to Mac. At iStore, we make it easy with 4,000 rands in added value when you switch. That's 3 years extended warranty and remote tech support, leaving you to focus on everything else. Switch to Mac with iStore, your expert partner. T's and C's apply. Mac at iStore. Run smooth as business should.
At the heart of global conversation shaping the future, Africa's voice matters more than ever. As Africa's largest bank by assets and lead sponsor of the B20 Summit, Standard Bank Group is proud to spotlight the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Through informed dialogue, powerful partnerships, Standard Bank is driving sustainable growth where it matters most. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Coming up
On the Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
Manyathela, good morning.
Good morning, Clement Manyathela.
What's popping today?
So we're going to pick up where you've left off regarding the Becky Cele appearing before the ad hoc committee. Witness B, the investigating officer in that Vereniging case, is also going to be back on the stand at the Madlanga inquiry. The Tshwane Mayor Nasipi Moya is responding to the furore around the 770 million rand spent on water tankers, saying it's a myth. So we'll hear more about that. The Milnerton boys who appeared in the video due to appear in court today. We'll speak to the Home Affairs Minister on plans to deliver passports to your door if you live overseas. And then the book of the week, because it's a Thursday, is Shift Happens. Shift Happens. Tools to transform your life.
All right, that's the midday report coming up next. Thanks for listening to the show. We'll be back tomorrow for the Friday edition. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye-bye.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon. I'm Bali Dlamini. Former Police Minister Bheki Cele says he was disturbed when he saw media reports claiming he was not willing to cooperate with Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating police corruption. Cele is currently giving evidence on the first day of his testimony before that committee. His testimony is expected to focus on organised crime syndicates, his own experience with MPs, as well as allegations regarding classified information. Cele has told the committee he's always wanted to cooperate with the parliamentary inquiry, and at no stage did he snub the committee and its evidence leaders. He says he even paid for his own travel to attend consultations with evidence leaders in Cape Town.
No, thanks for that. I was a little bit disturbed when they made their